There's a look at Team Alberta arriving for their biggest game of the year, about 3:45 local time this afternoon in Kamploops. Kevin Koe, Carter Rycroft looking very calm as they walk into the building. Meantime, the entire city of Kamploops has been following Jim Cotter, the local boy, all week long as Team BC looks to capture their first Brier title since 2000 here on Home Surf.
Howdy.
The weather's been incredible. The curling has been fantastic. The 85th edition of the Tim Hortons Brier here in Kamloops, BC. The second time this city has hosted the events. As we bring you inside the Interior Savings Center, it's down to 2 teams on championship weekend. And how about British Columbia? What a run. Jim Cotter grew up in this city. So much fan support. John Morris certainly brings the experience to this team as well. And welcome inside the building. Glad you're watching TSN. It is the Tim Hortons Brier preview show. I'm Brian Mudrick. It's going to be a fantastic 30 minutes coming up. We have stories involving the entire field. Quebec, what a surprise they were, and Jean-Michel Menard. And some special guests as the Olympic gold medalists from Sochi are here. A nice sit-down interview with Brad Jacobs coming up as well. But first, let's show you how we got here. We knew there was a few favorites coming in this week, and a few of them rose to the top. Of course, BC, Alberta, Manitoba, very strong weeks at 9-2. Quebec was a fantastic story as they crept in and did a great job. Why don't we look at the field? And we start with the teams that had weeks to forget. Jamie Murphy's crew from the Lakeshore Curling Club in Lower Sackville, Nova Scotia. Lead Donald McDermott, second Mike Bardsley, third Jordan Pinder, and Murphy had a rough tournament going winless at 0-11. But they did give a scare to a couple of playoff teams by making BC's John Morris and Manitoba's Jeff Stoughton win it in the final end. Northern Ontario's Jeff Curry from the Fort William Curling Club in Thunder Bay, Ontario. Curry, lead Jamie Childs, second Colin Koivola, third Mike McCarville had the dubious distinction of filling the lofty shoes of the defending Brier and Olympic champions of Brad Jacobs. In his first Brier, Curry won 2 games, including a big win over Brier veteran James Gratton of New Brunswick. One of the 2 Cooeys in the field, Jamie Koe in his rink from the Yellowknife Curling Center in the Northwest Territories. Koe, lead Robert Borden, second Brad Chorkowski, and third Kevin Whitehead didn't have its best Brier, losing against brother Kevin. But they head back north with 3 wins and did avoid the pre-competition for next year's Brier. From the Charlottetown Curling Complex on the island of PEI, lead Sean Ledgerwood, second Tyler McKenzie, third Anston Carmody, and skip Eddie McKenzie had their best Brier record of their career. McKenzie jumped out to a 3-1 start, including a big upset win over playoff-bound Jean-Michel Menard of Quebec. But their winning record dried up after that, and they managed just 1 more over the territories and posted a 4-7 record. There's also a change in the format this year as well. Whoever wins between Alberta and BC will become Team Canada and represent the country in Calgary in 2015. And there will also be a pre-competition tournament next year.
1 year from now, when the 2015 Brier begins in Calgary, the 12 teams that walk out on the opening day will have a different look, and it's just one of the changes to our national championship. The biggest comes with the addition of Team Canada, as the winner tonight here in Kamloops will get to return to Calgary next year to defend their title. However, adding a team to the field means that someone has to go, and which team that will be is still to be decided. Before next year's Brier, a pre-qualification event will be held. The 2 regions with the lowest win total over the past 3 years, plus separate entries from Nunavut and Yukon, will battle it out for that last spot in the Brier field and a chance to play in Canada's biggest bonspiel. So that means that Nova Scotia, a province that won the very first Brier back in 1927 and has been part of every Brier since, might not have a team in Calgary. Prince Edward Island, our smallest province, could have the same fate. Eddie McKenzie's team from Charlottetown had a good week here in Kamloops, but it wasn't enough to guarantee a spot in next year's event. Since the very first time it was held 87 years ago in Toronto, the Brier has always given curling teams from across our country the chance to become national champion. This new format doesn't change that. However, for some, it makes the path to a championship that much more difficult.
So now, obviously, even if you're having a bad week, every win's so crucial now at this event. So the new teams for 2015, obviously, Team Canada and Nunavut. Then there's that pre-competition tournament as well. And when you talk about the wins over the last 3 years, here's the breakdown. So the Yukon, no wins, Nova Scotia 5, PEI 9. So PEI, Nova Scotia will be involved in that pre-competition tournament. With more on their thoughts, let's send it up to Vic Rauter.
Hello, Canada. Linda Russ alongside. It's going to be an exciting building, standing room only. Yes, a Team Canada for the first time next year in Calgary. So the winner will not only represent our country in Beijing, they will come back to Calgary as Team Canada. And then, of course, you add those teams from Yukon, Nunavut, as well as PEI and then Nova Scotia. PEI and Nova Scotia are going to try to battle their way back. And when you're talking about Prince Edward Island this week, that's Eddie McKenzie. He looked good considering his lack of playing time.
He really did, Vic. 4 wins, that's Eddie's best record. But you look at the fine print, they're even better than that. 2 games, the Manitoba game stands out. Just barely won that game for Jeff Stoughton. It's a team that's going to get better as they go along.
Boy, if you are Nova Scotia, poor Jamie Murphy doesn't win one. That's disappointing in itself. But there's a province that won a title not that many years ago with Mark Daisy, and now they have to scratch to get back in.
Yeah, it's tough. Every team comes with a dream, and that's to perform their best and try and make the playoffs. And for Jamie Murphy, a quality team like that, not to win, first of all, unbelievable. Then the responsibility of those points not going forward and maybe not qualifying a team, that's a lot of pressure.
So the winner this year becomes Team Canada.
Thanks, guys. And you know what? There was a lot of teams that had slow starts but really picked up momentum, including New Brunswick and James Grattan. He got on a roll, but it wasn't quite enough. And a few of the teams came up a little bit short this week. We had a new rep in Ontario from the Glendale Golf and Country Club in Hamilton. Skip Greg Balston upset Ontario giant Glenn Howard and used all 5 players in a rotation with front end of Jamie Farnell, Tyler Morgan, and Steve Weiss, along with third Mark Weiss. Balston was in the playoff picture after wins over Quebec and Newfoundland Labrador, starting out 4-2, but Balston would lose back-to-back games to playoff-bound BC and Alberta, and ended his first Brier at 5-6. Stephen Laycock from the Nutana Curling Club in Saskatoon competed in his 4th Brier. With his team of Dallin Myers, Colton Flash, third Kirk Myers, they were right in the mix all the way to the final end of the final draw. Laycock controlled his own destiny and had a draw to beat James Grattan and force a tiebreaker with Quebec, but it rolled too far and ended his hopes with a 6-5 record. Out of the Gage Golf and Curling Club in Oromocto, New Brunswick, skipped James Grattan competing in his 11th Brier, along with teammates lead Josh Berry, second Darren Roach, and third Jason Roach. They started 1-5 and were searching for answers, but Grattan would run off 5 straight wins, including a big win against Saskatchewan in draw 17 to give themselves hope. But at 6-5, their run to a playoff berth came 1 win shy. A mainstay at the Brier from the Valley Haley Golf and Curling Club in St. John's, Newfoundland, Brad Gushue also competed in his 11th Brier. With lead Jeff Walker, second Adam Casey, and third Brett Gallant, they were up and down in this event. Gushue would fail to beat any of the big teams aside from 4th place Quebec and would finish just outside of the playoffs at 6-5.
That has to be disappointing, obviously, for Brad Gushue. He came with a consistent team, a team he believed in, but he just wasn't very consistent on the ice. A similar story for Saskatchewan?
Yeah, for Steve Laycock, though, a little bit different. I see a bright future for this team because it's the first time Steve has skipped and thrown last, and he had a new lineup. I really like the look of this lineup.
Oh, boy. If you could be like those figure skating judges and just throw out your bad ones, New Brunswick, James Grattan would love to do that.
Yeah, I think they need to take a collection up and get here a day or two early and rent the ice and get used to it, because that happens every single year. They were unbelievable in the last half, but that 1-5 start killed them. 92% in the last 4.
Greg Balston goes 5-6, but earlier today he was voted the most sportsmanlike player by his fellow curlers.
Thank you very much, and that is what they are playing for. When we return, we'll hear from Team Jacobs in Kamloops. Stick around. Welcome back to our Tim Hortons Brier preview special. Team Alberta continues to warm up. BC will have the hammer in this final a little later on today. And one of the best moments of the week at the Brier certainly was in round-robin play. It was the final morning on Friday. There could have been a few tiebreakers, maybe one tiebreaker, but Jean-Michel Menard and his team from Quebec came through on the final day and ensured that they would certainly make the playoffs. So no tiebreakers were needed. Of course, last year, Team Jacobs came out of that 3-4 game and won it all. This is how it breaks down this time. The 1-2 game, it was BC and Alberta. The 3-4 page game, it was Manitoba and Quebec. And of course, BC, what a strong team. John Morris, he calls the game. He throws third stones. Rick Swatsky, Tyrell Griffith, Jim Cotter throws the 4 stones, and he has been simply brilliant. Meantime, Alberta out of the Glenclos in Calgary, the former Canadian and world champs from 2010, Kevin Koe, lead Nolan Thiessen, second Carter Rycroft, and third Pat Simmons. Set up an exciting page 1 versus 2 game, and here are some of the highlights for you. Jim Cotter, ice in his veins all week long. 4th end, look at this run back. Bang the yellow, there goes the red, and there is 3. That was certainly the TSN turning point. Go to the 9th end, 2 red stones belonging to Koe in the house. Final one on the way from Cotter. In his draw weight, he's had it in his back pocket. Johnny Moe comes out to help, but didn't really need it. This perfect once again. He gets the single against 2. And it was handshakes. 9-5 winners for BC. With their thoughts, back up to Vic Rudder.
It's curious how things go, Linda. There is this Alberta team and Kevin Koe with all that experience, Canadian world champion, another final. And yet at times in that 1-2 game, we saw Kevin Koe almost become a little bit unglued, a little bit flustered.
He was definitely tentative. It started at the beginning of the week. The first game wasn't so good. You toss that out. No, you weren't used to the ice. You get to the end of the week, to the 1-2 game in particular, and you have to know where to put the broom, and Kevin did not. And that doubt went to his fingers. He didn't play well. And then he started giving Pat the decision-making power. You can't do that. You have to get back that confidence.
By contrast, John Morris knew exactly what he wanted to do.
The broom is in the right spot, and we've said all along, if the skip puts in the right spot, all 4 players are going to play well, but nothing like Jim Cotter did in that game. He was unreal. Human highlight reel. Run-backs, doubles, triples, freeze to win the game. Unbelievable shot making.
So this gold medal game is a rematch of the 1-2, Brian.
Vic, thank you. Jean-Michel Menard certainly played some amazing curling as well. He was up against Manitoba and Jeff Stoughton and lead Reed Carruthers. A lot of talk about the lineup change as Mark Nichols went up to the 2nd position. John Meade, of course, longtime 3rd. And Quebec, what a great story. Philippe Menard, Eric Sylvain, Martin Kretz. And they had a week to remember. Jean-Michel Menard, you talk about a human highlight reel. He came to play all week long. And in the 3-4 against Manitoba, 2 yellow stones in the house. Jeff Stoughton, final stone in 6. We almost never see this, but we saw it. Look at the weight. Martin Kretz on the brush, and it slides too far. That was a massive steal for 2. Meantime, for the champion from 2006, his draw weight was simply perfect. Here in 8, Menard the draw for 2, and he was simply brilliant. In it goes, perfect draw weight, and that moves him on to the semifinal. So that meant Alberta and Quebec would meet in the semifinal, and Jean-Michel Menard certainly gave them a great run. Sadly, it was not to be for the champion from 2006, but he certainly had the fan support all week long, and it was an incredible battle as we show you the highlights and the story as to what happened in the semifinal. It went the full distance. How about 11 ends needed? And Alberta seemed to finally find their touch, especially this man. We talked about problems at time with reading the ice for Kevin Koe. Sometimes problem with draw weight, but when he had to come through, he did. A perfect draw here in an extra end. And he was moving on to tonight's Brier final. That set up the bronze medal game this morning. Always a tough one to bounce back and try playing. It was Jeff Stoughton, Team Manitoba, capturing the bronze, 9-5. The final score, Jeff Stoughton still in search of his 4th Brier title. In just a few hours' time, someone will be crowned champion of this year's Tim Hortons Brier. And for the first time, a team will also be Team Canada as well. And speaking of Team Canada, Team Jacobs in Kamloops for a great sit-down interview. You don't want to miss it. That's next here on TSN. Welcome back to our Tim Hortons Brier preview show. It's been an adjustment seeing Johnny Moe wearing the blue and the white in those colors as he signs some autographs. And John Morris has basically grown up in front of us on TV when it comes to curling. He was a skip from Ontario back in 2002. He won 2 Brier titles for Alberta, and now he's representing BC, and he loves the guys he plays with.
It was 10 months ago when the news broke that took the curling world by surprise. John Morris, who had won 2 Briers and an Olympic gold medal with Kevin Martin, was leaving the team. That in itself wasn't a complete shock. After all, they had struggled at the Brier and failed to make the playoffs. The bigger surprise came a week later when John Morris announced where his curling future would be. He made the choice to head west, skip Jim Cotter's team from Kelowna and Vernon, and throw the third stones. It was an odd decision at the time, and one that left many wondering if Morris could once again find success without the names of Martin, Kennedy, and Hebert alongside. Well, in the 10 months that have followed, that question has been answered with authority. Team Morris won the pre-trials event in Kitchener, and they made it all the way to the trials final in Winnipeg, and they now find themselves 1 game away from the Brier title. It has been a quick ascent to the top of the Canadian curling scene, and one that has his new teammates crediting their new skip 100%. His role as a strategist, a teacher, and a leader has shown a side of John Morris that we've never seen before. He's already done it all in his curling career, winning gold at the World Juniors, World Championships, and the Olympics. But if he can take BC to the top of the podium here in Kamploops, a mere 10 months after forming this new team, that just may be his most impressive feat.
Johnny Moe says he loves the heart of this team. It's been the most successful Brier for Jim Cotter so far, but there's still 1 goal remaining.
We just really focus on the here and now. You know, we just keep focusing on what we can do today to be better for tomorrow.
We train and believe in ourselves 100%. There's no, well, let's finish top 4 this event. That's not how we roll.
It's worked out real well for us so far.
Rick's just a great front-end leader. He's taught me a lot.
He knows exactly where it's going to go, right out of my hand.
I've never seen a lead play so well. He's just has those draws on a string.
He's like a little sponge out there. He just soaks in the information, and he's a calm, cool, collected customer now.
It's just a great combo. I think they work really well together, and we get a lot out of their brushes.
Yeah! Jimmy is just a pure thrower.
It seems like he's got ice in his veins. He just keeps getting better throughout the week.
I don't think people realize how good of a player Jim Cotter is, and he's starting to really show it.
When it's time to make a big shot, Jim's the man.
Angle it back 1. Now will they go through? Oh, he goes through the hole.
Johnny's very experienced.
I liked it. I thought you were a little
John's just been, phenomenal to play with all year. You know, his game calling, he just knows angles and all that kind of stuff. And we've been friends for a long time, and he's just fit in on this team just tremendously.
Yeah! We believe from day one. That was why we put this team together.
Been lucky enough to win a few Briers and have been on some great teams. And if we could ever win a Brier in Kamloops and Jimmy's hometown, and the other guys being so close in Vernon and Kelowna, that would mean the world to me, because I know how great these guys are, and to see them be able to enjoy that Brier like I have before in the past, that would be a dream come true this season. So that's what we're gunning for.
Standing in their way, though, a great team out of Alberta and the Glencoe and Calgary. We know Carter Rycroft plans on taking a year off of curling after this, and they want this one really badly.
We've got pretty high standards for ourselves. We play all the big teams, and we consider ourselves one of the best in the world as well.
We know we're a good team, and it's hard enough getting out of Alberta. When we finally do it, we know we have a good chance.
Take it all the way in, put it on the
I would say maybe the best poker face out there. I mean, if there are butterflies in there, no one can tell.
He's one of the best in the world, so when he starts making everything, I like our chances.
We can sure count on him with the game on the line for sure.
Hard! This could possibly be the last one that I get to.
He's taken some time off after that, so what better send-off than to win another Brier?
If I could go out with that, putting that on there, that would be just seal the deal for me.
Pat Simmons, he's played with us 3 years. He doesn't have his name on it, so we want to win it for him.
It'd be nice to get this win and get Pat's name on the tankard.
We've had a great 3 years here, and you know, to culminate in a win here would be great.
I like the peel. It's just not as easy now. But yeah, we'll make it.
As everybody knows, that the Brier is, it's family and friends and tradition, and you get people out and enjoying it, and nothing better.
They kind of keep us level.
When we get to a Brier, we know they're all coming, and it's great to have them here. You know, they deserve it as much as we do for us being away all year, so it's important for them to have a good week.
Meantime, the defending champs of the Brier are not here, but they have a pretty good excuse. They had a pretty big tournament in Russia to deal with. What a couple years for Brad Jacobs. Earlier this year, comes out of the pre-trials, wins the trials in Winnipeg, and now Olympic gold medalist. And of course, it all started back at that Brier in Edmonton.
Last run, Jeff Stoughton.
12, close.
Needs to bend now just to catch the stone just thrown. Needs to bend and will just touch it. Northern Ontario will stun Manitoba. Final stone. Right now, it's Northern Ontario sitting the single. Need to touch the red on the way by. Oh! It came up just in time. 3 on the board. There it goes. Northern Ontario are your Canadian men's curling champions.
What can you say? It's been unbelievable. They've done it all, living the dream, no kidding. Brier champions 2013, silver at the Worlds, of course, and qualifying for the Olympics, and then winning in Russia, Olympic gold medalists. The entire country behind them, and you knew in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario, they were cheering loud and proud. After that gold medal performance, let's be honest, it wasn't a great start, but they had momentum and they had the fan support back home. Here they are arriving back in the Sault, family, friends, and there's that little piece of hardware they brought through customs, Olympic gold medalists. The guys arrived in Kamploops, and we had a chance to sit down with the entire team. Guys, first off, welcome and congratulations. Brad, I'll start with you. What a great season. You go back to the pre-trials, to the Olympic trials, and gold in Sochi. What was that moment like for you and some of your best buddies here to win gold for Canada?
Yeah, it was an absolute dream come true. Biggest event we've ever won as a team, and just to be able to share it with these 3 guys, obviously Ryan and EJ, I'm first cousins with them, and Fry is definitely, you know, best friend. Thinking back to it now, you can still picture everything, jumping up on the podium, everyone out in the crowd, and seeing the flag raised and singing our national anthem together was amazing.
That jump was a pretty iconic moment, and who planned that? It looked like Fry. You kind of told the guys to wait, or was it the boys?
No, I think it was EJ.
Yeah, I think it was EJ.
I think it was EJ. I was a little nervous because it's a long jump for me, so. But
we made sure to move up a little as close as possible.
Yeah.
So that was you planned it to begin with?
Yeah, I think it just kind of came about with us talking. We didn't want to do something that, well, we're not really traditional, I guess you could say. I think we have our own little personality and style, so we thought, hey, you know, we're going to take that to the podium as well and do something a little bit different. That kind of came to mind.
EJ, you made the comment early at the Olympics when you saw the sisters win medals together that you got a bit emotional because you thought this could happen with my brother. Yeah. What was that moment like for you guys?
It was pretty incredible, and I'd be lying if I didn't say I pictured that well beyond, or well before, I should say, before we got to the Olympic Games, and what that might feel like, and feeling that emotion very early on before we arrived in Sochi, and just wanting to be able to have that opportunity, knowing that, you know, potentially this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and to be able to share that with obviously my brother, and then a cousin and a best friend would be beyond words and beyond anything else that I may be able to experience throughout my athletic career. And I held it together a bit better than I thought I would when me and Ryan had our embrace and we hugged at the end of the game there. And but then it all came out at COH when Ryan and myself and my father, who we weren't able to see after the game, embraced at COH, and there was a lot of tears and very few words, and something I'll always remember.
Obviously, winning the gold's got to be the best moment of the Olympics, but besides that, whether it was meeting somebody, a cool little story, what was your favorite part?
Oh, honestly, there's so much. Other than winning, obviously the hug with my brother, it was a huge part. Very emotional.
What about my hug?
No, not at all. No, but the opening ceremonies was great, just to be there with all the other Canadian athletes and just meeting other amazing athletes. Like, we became friends with a lot of hockey players and all the hockey girls, like Shannon Zabados and Spooner and Wicker. We saw them a lot. So, and I think EJ and Brad had a good conversation with Mike Babcock when we were 1 and 2. So,
you want to follow up on that, EJ, that chat?
Yeah, we were going to the COH, Canada Olympic House. Brad and myself were a little bit behind the guys, and Babcock, Mike, was coming out. All he did was grab my hand, and he's got a pretty firm handshake, and he pulled me in, and he looked at both of us, and he said, I know you're 1 and 2, but that means absolutely nothing. And he said, adversity can do some amazing things. And he said, I know how you guys are. I watch you. I follow you. I'm a fan. And you guys are going to turn this around. He said, don't worry about winning. You just need to worry about execution. The rest will take care of itself.
Like, you know, not dropping in, but we became pretty good friends with Kaylee Humphreys and Heather Moyse, and you know they were pretty inspiring with the way they helped us, you know, get out of that little slump. And Scott Moore and Tessa Virtue, like, unbelievable two people, and you know the struggles they had, and you know everything leading up to these games, like all these little conversations that you had, you really take away as something special, because it's something that you've shared with, you know, some pretty iconic Canadian athletes that not a lot of people get to do. So
aside from all that was the Canadian women's hockey game. We were high-fiving so hard in that game that right here on my hand, my throwing hand, I seriously was bruised. Like just the smallest touch was like, why did we do that? Why did I do that? We have to play tomorrow in the gold medal game. Everything was fine, but that was so inspiring to go to that hockey game and just see the way that they came back. I was honestly thinking in my mind after, I don't care if we're losing in tomorrow's final at some point. We'll never give up, because those girls didn't.
It was kind of an anticlimactic final. What was your take on that final game?
Oh, it was perfect. Perfect. Yeah. You know, I think it was kind of meant to be. We'll take a blowout like that all day, every day of the week, because I'm pretty sure had we had the same shot against China that we had in the round robin, a draw to the button, I might have had a heart attack in the hack. So we'll take it all day, and it just goes to show that we were ready for that game, and we were not, like EJ said several times, we were not going to be denied. And I think we all felt a real sense of calm going into that final game before we went out when we were waiting in the tunnel. I've never been so calm going into a big final game like that. It was strange. It was just like we knew for sure we were going to win that game.
Guys, you made Canada proud. Thanks for your time. Congrats, and maybe just one final hold up of that medal.
Thank you, Canada.
Thanks, Canada.
Thank you.
An incredible run, a great team. And what a crowd here at the Interior Savings Center. If Jim Cotter makes a shot in this final, you'll know about it. The fans have been phenomenal. And we're just seconds away now from the Tim Hortons Brier championship game. Johnny Moe, as he always does, giving his team a pep talk. Kevin Koe looking for his second Brier title. The big game coming up next on TSN.
Everybody knows that the Brier is family and friends and tradition.
You got to be ready for it. You got to see yourself being there and believing in yourself.
It's our goal. We've got pretty high standards for ourselves. You want to win for each other as much as anything.
I'm looking forward to it.
When push comes to shove, you got to get down to business.
We've had a great 3 years here, and to culminate in a win here would be great.
It's just a real good mix of guys we have on this team.
We're in the Brier final, and that's what we came here to do, is to win this game.
Yeah! Clean! Yeah!
It'd be a dream come true.
It would mean everything in the world to me.
I love our chances.
It is Championship Sunday here on TSN Kamloops, BC. 85th edition of the Tim Hortons Brier, and the home team. Jim Cotter grew up in this city and a chance to win on home ice in the town that he grew up in. Welcome inside the Interior Savings Center, the second time that Kamloops has hosted the Tim Hortons Brier, and just listen to this crowd. John Morris skips this team, so much experience, Olympic gold medalist. Briers with Kevin Martin in Alberta, and now trying to set this crowd off. Meantime, BC up against Kevin Koe and Team Alberta. Koe in 3 Briers, now in his 3rd Brier final. Of course, he won it all back in 2010 and ended up winning the World Championship that year as well. They were 2 of the favorites, and they are here on Championship Sunday, BC versus Alberta. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the championship final here on TSN. I'm Brian Mudrick, and what can you say? This crowd is going nuts. BC with a chance to win their first Brier title since 2000. Jim Cotter has been lights out all week long. John Morris says he loves the heart of this entire team, loves what Jim brings to the table. He's been in his ear all week long. They're always having a conversation, a lot of inspiration for both of these guys, and they would love to win a title here at home. Let's show you how we got here. It's been a fantastic week of curling. 1-2 game. It was BC and Alberta. Of course, BC was so strong, winning 9-5. The 3-4 game. Manitoba coming up short against Quebec. The semifinal, Alberta got another chance, 9-8 in an extra end. And then it sets up the championship final. BC, Alberta, everything on the line. Let's go to the gentleman that will call the game, Vic Roeder.
Hello, Canada, and we are part of the standing room only crowd here at the Interior Savings Center. Linda Russell alongside, and as you watch them make their way around the ice, certainly there's the pressure, but I think you have to embrace this a little bit, Linda, don't you?
You do. If you're Alberta, you're going to have to fight it a little bit because it is a very pro-BC crowd, but it's also exciting to be out there on the ice.
Let's talk a little bit about this BC team, Russ, and how quickly they have come together. Only 10 months ago, it shocked everyone, I think, that John Morris was going to leave Kevin Martin and come to BC.
Yeah, for sure. It was a shock. It was a shock that he joined up with Jimmy Cotter, but I know how good Jim Cotter is. I played against him quite a few times. It didn't surprise me. It's how fast they got it together is what surprised me. Got enough points to get into the pre-trials, won the pre-trials, beating a guy by the name of Brad Jacobs. Made it to the trials final, losing to Brad, of course, who's now our gold medalist. First place here, first in stats. They're looking real good.
What is it, do you believe, about John Morris? Certainly everybody's bought in, but what is it about his direction, do you think?
It's his intensity. He just oozes confidence for this team. Not that Jim Cotter needed it, but Johnny gets the broom in the right spot. He's training the team properly. He knows where to put the rocks, and Jimmy's delivering.
And so now they go against an Alberta team that has really, you would think, seen it all. They've won a Canadian championship, world championship, gotten to the final as well, but we've seen this week that you necessarily can't handle everything.
The first game was a bit sloppy. After that, they looked unbeatable. Superb numbers, but then end of the week, and especially in the 1-2 games, things again went awry, and especially with the ice rating for Kevin Koe. That translated into some negativity. Confidence started to slip. So in my opinion, although you got 4 great throwers on the ice, a big person is the guy on the bench, and that's the coach and sports psychologist John Dunn. He turns that negativity into a positive frame, and that makes a huge difference.
And Dad, Fred is here celebrating a birthday earlier this week. There it is, our gold medal matchup here at the Tim Hortons Brier. BC is through to Sunday's final.
I think the sky's the limit for this team. It's amazing what a team can accomplish when you all believe in each other when you work extremely hard, you outwork any other team out there, and you got 4 guys that are all on the same page, and I think we're starting to prove that.
I think it'll be fun, and it's a great opportunity. I mean, I think for us, the big thing, if we can get through the first 5 ends tied up or 1 down with or keep it close, I think the longer that game goes, I think the better off we are. I love our chances.
If we could ever win a Brier in Kamloops and Jimmy's hometown, and the other guys being so close in Brian and Kelowna, that would mean the world to me.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, a true Canadian tradition. The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years, by M&M Meat Shops, frozen food at its best, and by Cashmere Bathroom Tissue. Nothing feels like cashmere.
They have shoehorned people into every nook and cranny of this Interior Savings Center for the gold medal game. It is BC against Alberta. Time to meet the teams now. Brought to you by Ford, proud partners with the CCA for 20 years.
Hi, I'm John Morris, skip of Team British Columbia. At lead, we have Rick Sawatsky. At second, Tyrell Griffith. Throwing 4 stone, Jim Cotter. And we curl out of the Kelowna and Vernon Curling Club.
Hi, I'm Kevin Koe, skip of Team Alberta. Our lead is Nolan Thiessen, second Carter Rycroft, third Pat Simmons, and we curl out the Glencoe Curling Club in Calgary.
Both these teams finished round robin at 9-2. Alberta awarded the first place, or BC getting the first place, because of their better draw to the button record. So once again, they have the hammer. But interestingly enough, the choice of stones and a different choice of stones for Kevin Koe in Alberta. He chose red on Friday night. He lost in that 1-2 game, so a bit of a mind game possibly here. He said, BC, you can have red stones. I want the yellows.
Well, Alberta was down 6-1 after 4 ends in that 1-2 game to BC, so you started thinking that maybe it was going to be a change if they happened to make it to the final, but in particular, you picked up something about Kevin Koe's rocks.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin had 2 cutters for sure. I had to confirm after the game. It looked like it, and he was just getting more curl than everybody else. There's already close to 6 feet of curl. Look at the broom here for Johnny's come around here. Exactly 6 feet. You don't need cutters when it's curling that much, and it caused Kevin to be inside a couple times into a different pass, and it really hurt his draw weight. I don't think you'll see that tonight.
Rick Sawatsky, as you saw there, with a record percentage, a record performance for a lead at a Brier. So in this first, BC will have the last rock playing the red stones. Center line guard goes up and around he goes.
And out it comes. Big curl on this ice. They're going to be off the paint, putting the broom down to draw the button. And I guess how far off the paint they have to go is going to depend on the building. It's pretty warm in here. We might get lots of curl.
It's the most curl we've seen all week. Who's going to make that adjustment?
Hard! Right up! Hard! Whoa! Off!
They're going to let it tick.
Get it in, Kevin. Just in. Just in.
Get out to those.
Okay.
So what's your thought here, and on how they may approach this gold medal final?
The 2 teams stack up very similarly as far as how they approach the game. It's all going to be about rock positioning for both and big weight bailout for both. For BC, the key is keeping the draws in front of the tee line. For Kevin Koe, finding the right place for the broom. Better, of course, than that 1-2 game.
The game plan is brought to you by World Financial Group, helping families have better financial futures.
Solid lead, Kev. Kev. Whoa.
They're very similar in their approach to the start of an end, where with both leads, who are fantastic, Nolan and Rick both can make the shots. It's going to be about getting guards and come-arounds into the right spot. But both seconds then are the bailout people. So you have Carter Rycroft for Alberta. If he needs it, he'll be the one running things in. And immediately with Ty Griffith, he'll also be asked for that same kind of shot. And they have that big weight ability right down the lineup.
Hey.
We've gone from about 4.5 at the start of the week. We're up to at least 6 feet for this game, and you have to thank Dave Merklinger and his crew for that wonderful ice surface. It's really warm out here today, Lindy. You think it would frost up, so we'll have to keep an eye on that as the game goes along. But you knew Dave was going to put a lot of swing into it today. He's got his pink shirt on, which is a tribute to his mentor, Shorty Jenkins, who was the king of swing, and he always wore pink. So you knew it was going to move today.
No roll, no roll, no roll.
One of the question marks was about Ty, who's very young. And in the trials final, I think it's safe to say he looked a little nervous, but you saw his numbers for that 1-2-page playoff game at 97%. He has looked so much cooler and so good in this Brier.
It's funny to say losing the trials final, one of the worst losses of your career. You know, you're that close to getting to the Olympic Winter Games, but it's the best thing that ever happened, I think, to Tyrell for sure. That to play in that pressure cooker and perform as well as you did will do him in good stead today.
Control off. Close. Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Off.
Attaboy. I think that's one of the things I notice about these two teams, Linda, is to a man. Now with Tyrell and having that experience of the Olympic trials, you've got people like John Morris, Carter Rycroft have been to Olympics. You've got people who have won Briers, won World Championships. Jim Cotter's been now in his 4th Brier. So there is a lot of experience. Yes, you may have some adrenaline, and sure, your heart's going to be pumping, but I don't foresee anybody collapsing like we might with a first time.
No, the only thing you worry a little bit about if you're BC, Russ has already pointed out, I don't know if you can get better than they were in the 1-2 game. And you worry a little bit if you're John Morris about, can you bring the same today? You always want to play your best in the big game. You want to make sure that you can perform on demand, and they certainly did it in that 1-2 game.
How much weight? Normal?
New path here. You don't see too many out this far. Certainly in end number 1, so it's going to be a little fresh here.
Whoa. I talked about John Dunn, their coach and sports psychologist for Alberta, but Pat Simmons is also the guy on the ice who has a really positive attitude with Kevin. It's very important.
And it'll just spill out the back. He's out of the University of Alberta, where he's a psychologist there. Has worked with Team Canada at the Olympics, Canada's biathlon team in Vancouver.
You threw in practice here.
So it's interesting that Alberta brings him as a coach. No curling background per se.
Yeah.
They rely on their decision making when they call a timeout on Jamie King.
Well, Mr. Think of Everything. Watch when that rolled over. John stopped brushing it, judging it to the inch so that they could set up this freeze here. He wanted it out, but just.
Should be all there. Back 8, back 12.
The line's good. Heavy right now.
Clean it, clean it.
Clean it. Heavy.
Just freeze it. Just freeze.
Low top. Whoa, then.
Whoa. We're topping.
Clean.
Lines. Whoa, rim. Whoa, whoa.
Just to it.
Whoa. Low top.
No tap, just to it, and right to it.
What did you get? 75. I got 65.
We mentioned that in that 1-2-page playoff, that John Morris really had it figured out, and from first stone.
So you have to love listening to John, because you're going to know exactly what he's thinking and seeing out there. He tells Jim everything. He does this and curls.
So it's like
they're wonderful together.
Just because of the curl factor, right?
Right.
It's going to be a little bit slower.
Great point. If you play on ice like this, when it curves that far, technically, obviously, physically has farther to travel with that big curl. So they think it's a hair slower going that way.
Oh, heavy.
Same.
No, same weight. No, never.
Roll out.
Hard. Wow. No.
Whoa.
No. Try and grab it, please.
And he'll run it by Pat Simmons.
Good.
You talked about the weather, Linda, and outside. I've got my suit jacket off for the first time this week. That's how warm it is in the building. Outside on this day, we moved the clocks ahead in most of the country, it is 15 degrees Celsius. So that takes us up to 60 degrees Fahrenheit outside, and all these warm bodies now inside. So it's going to be a challenge for Dave Merklinger and the ice-making crew. Standing room only for this gold medal final.
Another new path here. John's guessing again. He's got a rough idea from that last one.
It should be really cool.
Once it crosses center, it's going to hook really hard.
Easy, easy, easy.
T-line. T plus. Sliding real good.
Take a look. Tie, you're in.
T.
Tie, you're in. Yeah, split the ribs. Yeah.
Yep.
Hard.
What do you want?
Split the ribs.
For T-line.
Yep. Hard.
Yep.
Hard. Come on, go. Keep going. Keep going.
Trying to even them up as much as possible, and they'll drag it to the back edge of the 8-foot.
Just didn't curl like they thought it would, so they tried to get it back to stop the potential double.
Split the ribs. Yeah.
Yep.
Hard.
Rick Sawatsky, 10 years the senior of Tyrell Griffith. Sawatsky is 38, fourth Brier. Tyrell Griffith, 28 years of age. And they've become a very good front end.
I was kind of caught between where to.
Because that's in.
I thought it was a great job by Rick. They were calling down constantly, where do you want it? That wasn't where they were first instructed, so they wanted to make sure that it was actually going back that Jim and John wanted.
There's too much ice on that one.
Yep.
Trying to bounce right across here, make that double.
Yep. Yes. Gotta go.
Koe's first, and he'll slide underneath. After that loss to British Columbia in draw 1 last Saturday, we thought that Kevin Koe had it all together, and then there was a last round loss to Quebec, and then he looked very shaky in the 1-2 page, but came back with a very confident looking win against Quebec in the semifinal. And Jean-Michel Menard, the former champion of 2006.
Be real good.
They liked that one partway downwind. It seemed to jump a little bit when he had to curl that extra quarter inch to miss that double.
It's tough with that big weight. You take so little ice.
Yeah.
You're taking a little risk that it will catch too small piece of that rock. See what they can do with this draw.
It's really good.
That's some consistency, isn't it?
He's been remarkable, and draw weight is certainly something he's had in particular in that 1-2 game.
Top 8, top 4.
Line's better than mine.
T-line.
T-line. Whoa, just above the tee. Line's better than mine. Clean.
Line's great, guys. Just above the tee.
Whoa. No freeze. Stay close.
Yep.
Perfect.
This time trying to hide it, and this has more curl to it. Carries at least half a stone. So you see the loss to Quebec, and then the loss to Manitoba. It was those 3 teams, BC, Alberta, Manitoba, all at 9-2, and then they got first place, BC, by the better record in their draws. Every game they do the draw to the button, they add up all the distances, and it was remarkable. It was just a couple of centimeters for the duration of the whole event for BC, so they won that, and that's why they were awarded first place.
The double is just not available here, Vic. It would just be way too dangerous. The other option, a little bit easier for somebody who's talented as Kevin, is to hit that one. You might be able to hit it and stay right there and be shot rock. But also difficult. You ever miss it, you're down 3.
Clean. Yep.
So hitting the open one, and you think about how this end's set up. Remember, the mistake happened with Nolan Thiessen. He rubbed a guard and trying to come by and make contact with the BC stone. They have been able, BC, to hold the deuce the whole end. That is tough against a team like Alberta.
Especially in the first end, Linda, to get that weight perfect, to put it on the X. The only one that didn't quite work was John's undercurled, and the double wasn't made. But great start here if this can hit paint.
Same should be good, eh?
I think so, pretty close, yeah. 97 would be nice.
Quite often you'll see a person throw down the same path twice when they're trying to score like this, but it's obvious that they know the sheet, and secondly, it's a nice look at how to get close to that button.
Final stone, and looking for a couple in a quick nice start for BC. Here in one. And expect to see this and hear this all game. They'll be into every shot. They'll brush every stone. They'll cheer every point. BC gets 2. .48 curlers started the week with a chance to drive away in a brand new 2014 Ford Fusion in the Ford Hot Shots. In the final, Saskatchewan's Kirk Myers facing Darren Roach of New Brunswick. Myers, he was magnificent when it counted most, scoring the maximum 5 on 4 of his shots, including a beautiful hit and roll. So Myers, along with the help of his sweepers, Philippe Menard and Garth Smith, Myers goes on to the win, taking the Ford Hot Shots and a 2-year lease on a 2014 Ford Fusion Titanium 2-liter all-wheel drive with EcoBoost. Last weekend, of course, was the opening weekend, so the 4 sheets in play. Now just 1 sheet and 1 game remaining. This, the gold medal game of the Tim Hortons Brier, the 85th Canadian Men's Curling Championship. British Columbia with 2 in that first end. It means Alberta. Kevin Koe and his team from the Glencoe Club in Calgary will have the last rock. They have the hammer here in the second, playing the Yellowstones.
There's a 94% chance that Rick was going to put those 2 in the right spot.
Pretty tough, eh?
Good point.
Try it.
Yep.
I like that.
The curl is so late that you worry a little bit about putting on those guards. If they drop long, it's not going to be in front of the stone in the house. A tiny piece open maybe on this side, the side of the corner guard. So it is a freeze being asked of Nolan.
Nolan Thiessen.
Hard line.
Ooh, that broke early. They might have trouble getting this by.
Third Brier appearance. And it is starting to dive at that center guard.
Hard line. Hard. Go. Hard, keep it eyesight.
Boy, it almost gets to the nose. And taps it straight back. Shot stone remains BC. Back 4.
They throw freeze weight there. Wouldn't have got by. So keep an eye on those spots. Look where Johnny's going for the center guard here, 6 feet. I love it when it's curling this much because you can just about make anything with the right speed. Look at that last one there by Nolan, hit it dead on.
But doesn't that, Linda, just take guards right out of the game?
No, you have to bring them a little tighter, Vic. You have to be careful with placement. You want overlap guards, of course, with these teams, and sometimes you want them a little longer so the run backs aren't there. But if you want it covered, you do have to bring it closer.
Just freeze. All there.
That's a great sign. We talked about maybe Ty would get a little excited. We've seen sometimes him be heavy on draws. And that one was perfect.
Sorry to interrupt you, but you think about the way Jim Cotter has worked with John Morris. I think Rick Sawatsky has really mentored Tyrell Griffith.
Now, Rick is so smart. He brings so much to the front end position, and he's really helped Ty. And then, of course, Ty, with that experience we talked about at the trials, he's seen this environment, this building, this single sheet. He knows how to deal with it.
Hey, you realize after a while you've got these great brushers in front of you on a surface like this that tolerance is that 4 or 5 feet light, and the boys can put it wherever you want it.
Hard. Touch it.
And he does touch it, and he'll get the shot stone, angling it back.
That's fine.
Opens up the center line.
Great sweeping, Johnny.
BC remains shot rock.
That's why I like throwing.
Center line, top edge of the 8.
Well, that was sneaky. Didn't do exactly what they wanted, but you bounce a few rocks around and look at the yellow one in the house that John's brushing. Goes in behind the guard.
I think so. Freeze it.
I like that.
Okay.
3 choices: peel the guard, freeze to the back one, or maybe just go around it and sit 2. John with a 2-point lead.
Actually,
I don't think he wants to fool around with that back rock.
The same weight or a couple feet?
Changed his mind, going for the freeze now.
That was 80? Yeah.
Good idea to sit 2, but you're playing around a corner guard.
Line's good.
Back ring.
Three-time BC Junior champion.
Line's good.
Tyrell Griffith.
Hard line. Take a look. Hard line. Where's weight?
Just top 4.
Hard then. Hard then. Come on, no double. Hard then.
T9.
Hard. No double here. You got it. Go, Jimmy. You got it, boys. You got it, boys. Easy. Oh, leave a bit of separation. Perfect.
And Morris will do the last couple of licks. Why do they want the separation?
Well, if it's frozen right on the corner, then Alberta can do the same thing and have that little bit of a sandwich there, and then it's really tough to get it out of there. So now it's exposed. If the freeze, if they decide to play the freeze, if the freeze is not made properly, it could bounce off, and there would be enough room for it to roll.
Should curl for you all the way, Carter, right?
Thick half goes into this.
The double's made, they might make the triple.
So you're throwing same weight? Same normal?
Trying to cross it. This is when it's tricky. If you add any extra weight, it runs too straight.
Oh. Yep. Same weight. Yep. Whoa, whoa.
Carter Rycroft.
Yes.
Fifth Brier for him. Silver medalist 2002. Salt Lake with Kevin Martin. Run it back. Gonna touch it. And that's a gold medal kind of shot.
And you look at when this all clears, the dust settles, the triple is made, the yellow rolls behind the other yellow guard. And maybe if you're a BC, you would have thought again about playing around that corner.
Exactly. Or freeze it solid, I guess,
Just
because it's now they're in a bit of trouble here.
Inches.
Rock, you must be too late.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not.
Should be there.
In the 1-2 game, BC got a lot of rocks in the right spots, and John and Jim got them out of trouble by using guards, rocks at the top of the house, running them in. There's nothing there for BC. This is a freeze attempt.
Oh boy.
This is going.
What do you got?
Nothing the crowd can do will stop that.
68. 68? Yeah. So I need an almost...
Talked about standing room. Here's your evidence. Around the concourse, in the 2 balconies, they're standing. Here in the home of the Kamloops Blazers, the 3-time Memorial Cup champion, seats 5,000 for the Blazers, but with the loss of some seats, media bench and the like, probably closer to 4,700 or so.
Doesn't get any better. This is a low risk, nothing in the middle, should score for sure. It's just how many, and a chance to sit 3 buried here with Hammer.
Not bad though.
Like to go a little.
Five, if you can. 5. Wait only.
Room.
Pat Simmons.
Room.
Curl, Nolan. Wait as long as you can, then go. Lionel's
getting good now. Getting good now. Yeah.
Top 8.
Now they got
You gotta go for weight.
Nolan Thiessen. Cutter Rycroft. Drag it.
So we can't freeze
And cover it. And they pull it behind.
Spot.
Brilliant spot.
Really nice job of brushing. I like the communication back and forth. They kept talking about it. Wanted to make sure it got around it, but don't brush it too early. And now it's a run back, but it's not your color running in for BC.
John Morris heavy with his first. Would like to make up for the mistake here. Curl up a hair. And he'll cut him down for the moment.
Just one.
Shot, John.
You gotta stay off sheet C. They just told us.
Shot.
It was a great angle to also roll the shooter to the outside.
I think the same, eh, guys?
Still a long enough guard here to sink in behind that long guard.
I'll try and give you the same.
Top 12's okay.
Seventh Brier for Pat Simmons. 5 out of Saskatchewan.
touch. Yep.
4 there as he skipped.
Yep,
He also
just for
played
one.
with Steve Laycock, now in a 3rd year.
Seven.
Kevin
Yep,
Koe of
7.
Calgary, and
8.
a 2nd Brier appearance
Whoa.
now with the team from
Whoa.
Glencoe.
Off, do not touch that one, please.
Okay. And it'll snuggle up beside.
Good guy.
Wow. What do you do if you're BC?
We got noses, don't we?
I think so.
Okay. Just
Nose
stick
the
around,
open
though,
one
eh?
and sit for shot. And
That's hard too. That's
is.
obviously the right shot, but if you roll it all, they could loop a 3rd one
Huh?
underneath.
Greg. Greg, Jim.
Herder was yelling 8 on that come around, so that came down in a hurry.
Regular. Clean. Yep.
4th Stones.
Hard.
Jim Connor.
Clean. Let's go, Jimmy. Shot.
Bangs it right on the beak.
Simple but important. If that rolls anywhere else, I think you would have seen him go aground again.
I don't want to take too much off.
No, I agree.
Control there, hey?
Taking a bit more ice than them.
A little less than him. He was good normal.
You're throwing a little less weight than Jim.
John just trying to get out of trouble here. I mean, you said it, Russ. That was such a key nose hit. Because Alberta's not going to fool around either. They want to keep this 3 alive.
Board down.
Whoa.
No, board.
After struggling in that final round robin game.
Whoa. Off.
And then in the 1-2 page playoff, he looked so much better in the ice reading, putting the brush down. Kevin Koe.
Probably bored.
Then it wasn't a much.
That's more normal.
He thought that I thought you were
bored.
closer to them.
Nice throw.
A little extra weight can make a big
Jimmy,
difference.
we'll try to roll it if we can to there.
The first goal
Same
is
way.
to sit. Keep a rock in the house that is shot stone and force a hit rather than a draw. If you can roll a little bit and change to shot, it would be nice.
Same way. Clean, yep. Whoa.
So out of his hand, they
Clean
like
up.
it. Sawatsky and Griffith. Love to roll it towards the center line. Now they'll sit right there on the edge. But it is a chance for BC to score 3.
I like the same weight, but taking a bit less ice.
Hey, I like that.
Alberta, pardon me, to score 3.
I like what Kevin did there. You figure out the weight you want to throw, then put the broom down. Don't just fire the broom down and then try to guess at the weight. He likes the weight he just threw, so it's easy to copy.
Same or more?
Same weight.
Easy.
Whoa.
Clean it.
Decent, Rycroft.
Clean.
Just with the
easy.
dust to keep it clean for him. And there they are. The mistake by John Morris. BC is punished. Alberta scores 3. These two teams met on the very first draw. British Columbia beating Alberta. One of those players who struggled in that game was the Alberta second, Carter Rycroft. But as the week has gone on, his game has come together, and look what he does here.
Yeah, John Morris decided not to freeze that back yellow, thinking they would see a freeze out of Alberta. Not with this guy throwing it. Peel weight, didn't overthrow it, kept it on the line, just hits it absolutely spot on. 1, 2, 3, and buried.
Wow, touches them all, and along with the miss by John Morris. Alberta puts 3 on the board. The key shot is brought to you by sponge towels, paper towels. Nothing absorbs like it. Try to keep your eye off the prize, but it just looms over your shoulder down at the away end. And so here in this third, it'll once again be BC that has the last rock. They have the hammer, playing the Redstones. Do you think that change of stones, that little bit of a game that Alberta played here, you won with them, you're going to play with the Reds now. Do you think that's affected the BC at all, or is it not a story now?
Well, taking those rocks that Jim Cotter had away with, it had to be a bit of a good idea. I'm sure he's found another pair that he loves, because he was incredible in that 1-2 game. But I think more importantly, the bigger story is Kevin Koe now has matched rocks compared to the rest of the team. That'll make all the difference.
First stone in, so it's an exchange of hits now. I don't blame John Morris. He was probably annoyed with himself after that last end. They're just going to try and get some rocks in a better spot before they make a move. Going to be very cautious. And speaking of cautious, Vic, that is the one change in John Morris last end. I felt as the week went along and BC was playing so well, he didn't have to take chances. And so the bailout did come sooner. And he did peel guards and roll to better positions to open up the house. And that is what I thought he would do last end. And in my opinion, what he did was the mistake. Yeah, I said this before, you live your intention, you have a plan, you stick to it, you don't get drawn away from it because of an opposition move. And I thought that was a big mistake.
Your opponent loves it when you're playing around a corner guard when you don't have hammer. They just, it's such a low risk end for Kevin Koe.
Go, Jimmy!
Good. Yep. What a lovely shot.
Goodness. Tyrell Griffith.
Either turn gets it. Probably easier with the out.
It's even angled a bit, which is the best you could have done.
What is that weight waving over your head?
A lot.
A lot?
Well, yeah, unfortunately for BC, it's such a short distance to push it out of the house.
He just picked it sideways. Ryder Rycroft avoids the jam and a little smile.
That's using the whole sheet.
You're like me yesterday, just scared it out.
Learned that from you.
Scared it out.
Should be all there. Back house.
Another thing that happened last end that would be a little annoying to John is his own rock that he threw through. That's very unlike him. And sometimes that intensity level, you wonder if that gets to him. Occasionally, we saw in the first end, he wants to come out and brush on Jim Crotter's rock. So you have to watch that. Ty's got it so under control. It's actually John you're worried about a little bit right now.
Yeah, at least miss that one light and make it usable.
Normal. Wait. Hard. Gotta go. Hard. Okay. Wait.
The Brier All-Star team was named earlier today, and Tyrell Griffith is part of it, as well as Pat Simmons, Kevin Koe from Team Alberta, Philippe Menard from Jean-Michel Menard's team in Quebec.
Ball control, lead. Wait. Yep. Good. Clean.
Too late to try and generate anything?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, so,
I don't think John wants any part of it. They're kind of licking their wounds here and run this one through. If they're successful, get the blank, and they'll have hammer and an even end.
The first team All-Stars, dominated by British Columbia, Mark Nichols. Great story, Mark, of Team Manitoba, Jeff Stoughton into that second position just a couple of weeks ago after the Manitoba provincials. Stoughton electing to shuffle things. Take Reed Carruthers down to the lead stone. Move Mark Nichols into that second spot, and it pays off with an all-star selection, a first-team selection for Mark Nichols.
I'll be a hair more out here.
Yeah.
Greg!
Please, just please.
Whoa. Regular.
Whoa.
And will it come back? Doesn't look like it.
Nice there, too.
Okay. Do that really good.
Yeah, right on the stick with Ray. I wanted to throw a hair more than my first, just because I thought I might curl it, but it's still...
We could probably bring our weights down a bit now, too,
Yes,
eh?
let's go back to our control that we're comfortable with.
Let's play it the same.
Yeah. All right, explain that to me. They come in, Linda, as you say, with a game plan. They take notice of something of the ice, and now they want to revert?
Well, as you play the game, the pedal changes and the curl changes, and they're a little concerned that if they continue to throw more weight, it's going to get straighter and straighter, and they're going to roll out like they just did. So, good information to pass along.
Good line.
I got it.
Line's good.
I got pretty close. Back 4. Just whoa, then. Just T-line.
Put her on the button, guys. Line's good.
Still back 4.
Okay. Oh, it's all here. Oh, you're right. It's all here.
Good weight call, man.
What? 94. So, yeah, right when we thought.
You normally don't want it behind the tee line when the team's losing against you, but they're never going to freeze this late in the end.
Yeah, just you were probably edge of house with a little bit of a round. Yeah.
It was interesting to, sorry, Russ, it was interesting to when Kevin Koe went by Nolan Thiessen. Thiessen gave him a little pat on the backside with his brush. And if you were with us for the pre-game show, the Tim Hortons preview, one of the things that Nolan Thiessen said, there's nobody better. We know it. We see it. We feel it when Kevin is on his game. And I think there's a sense right now that Kevin Koe is on his game.
He's on his game, and you want to keep him there, so you keep supporting him and giving him positive feedback.
All these guys are brilliant shot makers. It's who figures that surface out, who figures the rocks out, who knows the paths. And you're right. Once Kevin's dialed in, look out.
Early, I thought it might make a move, but
it is a curious thing to.
That's the difference between those spots there and if we go a little wider.
It is a curious thing to my mind, Russ, that yes, sure, look, quarterbacks can have bad days, goaltenders, whatever the sport. But how can you go from one day of knowing this ice and then going to the 2 games where he struggled so badly?
Well, one reason is the ice changes. It's we saw it frost up. It's definitely curling way more than it did maybe on Tuesday, Wednesday, for instance, maybe even Thursday. So it's a constant battle to figure out exactly what's happening. Not that the ice makers can do anything about it, but what Dave Merkley is trying to do is give them maximum curl so they can utilize their talents. And today it's got so much curl. You saw the very first shot of the game, the first come around over curl by a foot. Then Nolan wrecked on the guard, raised the BC rock in the ring. So it's all these slight little adjustments. At this level, it's not like you've got a foot to spare coming around those guards.
Yep.
Final stone, Jim Cotter looking for the blank. Rushes down from Sawatsky and Griffith, and out the side. They'll just take a look at that stone. They'll kick it away. Alberta holds on to their lead through 3. An added treat for those attending the Brier this weekend. Canada's Olympic team from Sochi. Brad Jacobs, Brian Fry, EJ Harnden, Ryan Harnden here signing autographs, doing interviews with us, and one more with Brian.
Hey, big thanks, and Brad, thanks for your time. It has been a crazy month for you. Your thoughts on coming back here, heroes welcome, a lot of autographs with these gold medals and your team here.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. The crowd's been amazing with us. You know, it's kind of weird to come here and not be playing, but everyone's been great. Everyone wants to take pictures, you know, see the medal, autographs and everything. So we've had a lot of fun.
Is it tough being the defending Brier champ and you come here and you can't compete?
You know, I found out that it wasn't too bad until right now. Watching this final game, it's really weird to watch the final game and just look at it knowing that we were in this game a year ago, and it's so weird to be watching. It's hard to describe, but it's going to be a good game.
What do you think about the new Team Canada format?
Yeah, it's going to be good. I think, you know, if the CCA thinks that that's the direction they need to go, then so be it. You know, we're just going to try to play hard for the Brier every year. We love the Brier, and you know, hopefully we'll be back here, and you know, it's a great event.
Where's the medal?
Yeah, it's locked up. It's in the safe in the hotel right now. Yeah.
Listen, Brad, thanks for your time. It's been a great run, and we enjoyed watching you guys in Russia.
Great, thanks, Brian.
Yep.
Yes, congratulations again to Brad Jacobs, Ryan Fry, E.J. Harnden, Ryan Harnden, as we welcome you back. And after that blank in 3, Alberta leads at 3-2, and once again, BC will have the last rock. They have the hammer here in 4, playing the Redstones. The BC
really
lead,
good.
Rick Sawatsky.
Room right now.
Top B, top 4.
Line's good.
Line's good. Room perfect.
Room.
Alberta has gone in, corner went up. Alberta has covered the shot rock, center line, top 4, and now trying to come around. Sawatsky.
Hard, looks light, hard. Hard, come on, hard. Hard, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
The little corner is open. BC opting to go around the corner and wait to make the bailout on the center line rocks.
You like trying it?
Keep an eye on that frosting. You see how white it is already. It's the blue circles are starting to get a little lighter color. Just 6 inches farther. That was right underneath.
Okay, so let's go back to something that we talked about, communication between teammates, and these are two of the better teams
what do you like then?
at their communicating. And what did
Make the ball.
Pat Simmons say to Kevin Koe last night in that semifinal?
Yeah, that was brilliant. It was really frosting up visibly. It was a mess to look at the ice, and your mind plays tricks. You see the white frost coming up, and you're thinking, oh my goodness, the rocks will never get there. Pat just leaned over and said 4.00 is exactly what it was, same as it was in practice, and the split time that Kevin Koe threw to draw the button was 4.00. He was dead on the time they wanted. The ice hadn't changed, and they made the shot perfectly.
Whoa! Whoa!
He's a man on a mission.
This is something. Carter Rycroft, another one. Yeah, the ice may look terrible, but the Stones are still doing the same thing.
Good throw. Yes! Whoa! Yes! Whoa!
Oh, run it, kid. Run it.
Good shot.
Thanks.
At the moment, BC is using 2 synthetic brushes while Alberta has the 1 hair brush. We did see, as we watched this run back just go by, in the 1-2 game, partway through the game, BC made the change as they felt there was more frost, and the hair gets down into the frost and the pebble a little bit better.
Am I going to curl as much? Probably, eh?
No, I threw that with the cutter, so.
Nolan took one of the rocks that actually cuts more, and that's the nickname for a rock that curls more. That's the slang cutter. It'll be just a little sharper rock, a little more friction, therefore more curl. So we've been watching 6 feet of curl for most rocks. That one Nolan has could be 6.5, maybe a little bit more. And they use it for those come-arounds.
Whoa! Clean. Yep. Whoa! 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 No.
So you make the run back, and then you're asked for a guard, and it's perfect. Very nice weight control by Carter.
And the difficulty of putting on those guards with so much curl.
Incredibly hard. You think about that. If Carter throws it 2 feet deeper, it's wide open because there's that much curl.
Tyrell Griffith run it back, and he'll pick it off the top of the 4. And he'll leave the shooter out there, just off center line, covering the 4-foot.
Impressive stone, and leaves that red one in a good spot for BC. Can't really hit it either if you're Alberta. You would leave a corner that can leave John Morris a come around.
Yeah, it should be room. Line's 5.
You might as well beat him in.
5. Line's good.
And here they go with Pat Simmons throwing the third stones for Alberta, trying to get behind that off-center guard. Thiessen, Rycroft.
Hard for lines. Got to finish it. Got to finish it. Carter.
Cooey will jump in too.
Every inch, Carter. Go, 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 go.
And just get it there to nibble at the top edge of the 4-foot.
Not hidden. It's a great weight to keep it in front of the tee line, but it did not bury.
Might be enough that John can't get to the inside. I think he's going to have to roll to the left side of center, leaving it wide open for Kevin.
Halfway, boys.
Solid hack. Clean. Yep. Clean. Solid.
Whoa. Bumper.
Close.
Bumper.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yep.
Yep.
We talked all week about how the movement comes late.
Roll it, Ty.
Yep.
Now rolling it away.
Way out there.
T-line, edge of the 8.
Go on, John.
Like what I threw here.
What you threw, yeah.
Like here up.
Yeah, exactly.
Very nice roll by John. It gets it out of the 4-foot area. Unless this rolls right back, you'll see BC go around the center guard.
Same or less. Whoa. 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 Can't.
Thiessen, Rycroft.
Can't.
Don't touch it, says Cooey. And up to the nose, and they'll sit there. And right away, that rock barely stopped, and the brush went down by Morris. That's where we're going. We're going around our guard.
Just a hair more, Jim. I gotta. In the draw? Yeah.
So important to be perfect, isn't it, again, against the team, these teams that are this good. Carter made a nice one, top 8, 2/3 buried. But Johnny was good enough to roll open and stay, and now he has a free chance here to bury one.
Just a hair.
Likes to go.
Yeah. Okay, go then.
They think they Stone needs it.
Mine's good.
So Griffith and Sawatsky
Hard, guys.
being polite about it. We'd like to go, so go then.
Line's great.
Morris says.
Line's good.
And here goes the crowd. On a big scrum. This is diving at the guard. This is going to be a little light. Potter's there too. Try to take it as far as they can. Get everything they can out of the stone. And now they'll take a look. And it is close. Very, very close.
I think it's red, but man, did they brush that hard.
Line's go. Line's good.
They knew right up from the get-go to get on that one. Heads down immediately.
Hard. Hard. Come on, Swat. Hard. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Get shot. Get shot. Get shot. Good scrub, boys. Great scrub.
Sliver in.
Whoa! Kevin Cooey, his first short run back.
Yeah.
And Simmons lining it up. And he'll run it back. Get what appeared to be the shot stone. Leaves, though, the shooter center line guard now.
I think we're that far off the line. Holy
Ah, nice throw. Real good.
Beautiful throw. Just a laser down there.
There's a sliver wide.
Looked pretty good to me.
Still come up, right?
Yeah.
Just control, Jim.
Control.
Change of plans here now. You could loop around again and hope the run back isn't made, but you're respecting Mr. Koe's abilities to do that again, because if he ever makes it, he sits 2, you cannot blank. He's going to hit it dead on.
He's never going to miss a blank, so let's have a good go at it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Talk about the next stone, trying to get a roll.
Control. Yeah.
First, we'll see where this one goes.
Really hard.
It's not heavy.
Griffith and Sawatsky picked him up right away.
That's curling.
And we'll get nothing but air.
Sorry, buddy. I should have given you a rag out there. No point babying it.
Over the top, too.
I think, well, it curled pretty darn early, so I think, because they were throwing, last time they were throwing like board and control out there, and they're running pretty true. So
Bite the top of the tee
So what I
line,
take
sort
from
of?
that, Linda, weight choice, and also maybe Cotter got it started.
The release. I think a lot of it was release. It started so soon, they couldn't hold it. Now what a great chance for Alberta. Put another one in there.
I got pretty close.
Their guard out.
Good line. Room
6 feet 3 inches for ice here. Then no wonder that Jimmy Cotter's curled.
Don't wanna. Real close. Line's good.
Line's good. Room.
No, line.
Off for line.
Never heavy.
Right off. Shit. Looks heavy.
Jeez.
And a break here as it'll slide to the back edge of the 4. So a couple of airs, one on each side. Cotter with his first. Koe with a great opportunity.
Yep.
To maybe close down the house.
She's good down here. Back 4 right now.
So close.
It's real good.
Whoa.
I need the backing.
So a little hot out of the hand of Jim Cotter.
They're close.
Griffith, Sawatsky, just a clean down, watching this all the way. Looking for the single to tie. Needs to come up a little bit. And we are even. BC will get their single here in 4. The Capital One Lego display getting a lot of attention from children visiting the Brier. They already have Manitoba on the podium as bronze medal winners. Earlier today, Jeff Stoughton, John Meade, Mark Nichols, Reed Carruthers. They got off to a big start, 7-0, and then ran it to a 9-5 lead. Jean-Michel Menard, Quebec, he just did not have his game today. As Jeff Stoughton from the Charleswood in Winnipeg will take home the bronze medal. This is for the gold. This is to wear the maple leaf in Beijing, China at the Men's Worlds, and to come back next year as the first men's Team Canada. A single by BC in 4, evens it up. So we're tied at 3. Here in 5 it will be Alberta and Kevin Koe out of the Glencoe in Calgary that does have the last rock. He'll have the hammer playing the Yellowstone. Hit.
Of the two teams, it is BC that has made those big mistakes. The second end, John Morris threw a draw through, and then this past end, you saw an open miss by Jim Cotter on a hit.
All the same.
Still, we are seeing some very nice setup shots by the front ends.
Just for line.
Whoa. On 2. Little tap right now. Clean. Yep. Hard line.
Hard line. Hard line.
Love to tap at a hair if you're Alberta, or get to the inside, one or the other.
Right up, fellas. Right to it, right to it. Go, 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 go.
Not much of an issue about Nolan's Rocks curling.
Good shooting.
Time.
Just scared to leave
Top
that.
12.
That thing.
Yeah. Top 8.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, just freeze, boys. Wait only.
Wait's good.
Top 12, guys.
Wait's real good.
Well, no bounce.
We're not bouncing.
Where is it?
Just there.
Well, let's all
Line's
hear.
good.
Just. Wait only. Wait only. Whoa. Clean.
There.
Clean. Yep.
There.
Yep.
Tyrell Griffith wraps one around.
Extremely impressive judgment there. They knew exactly where that rock was going all the way down.
Hard, hard.
Carter
Gotta go,
Rycroft has
guys.
done a lot of cleaning up so far.
Hard. Roll it, Nolan. Right
This
over,
time
right over,
we'll
right
just
over.
run
Right
it
over.
by and roll the shooter over till it covers the 12-foot.
81 time.
This much curl, you got to leave that path to the button or to the 4-foot for your skipper, and you need that guard over almost that far to have a lane into that 4-foot.
T-line.
Okay.
Need about 4 more feet.
Yeah.
The rock supposed to peel off because of the pretty good rock positioning on that top 12 one. Every time you jiggle these, you're going to have to be really careful that you keep a good line on your stones.
Yeah,
Back to that key, I thought, is rock positioning.
Yep.
Tight line.
Yep. Whoa. Hard.
A little tighter line, this could really curl.
Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
Sawatsky and Potter on this brush to get some separation. Shot stone remains Alberta.
Nice roll, Ty. We had to do, those angles weren't good. We had to
Top of the
disrupt.
floor.
Good call.
Angles are good now. The red's cued onto this yellow. The yellow goes onto that yellow, maybe even here, and you might get them both if Kevin doesn't do something about it.
Probably perfect way.
Do you like hammering the top with the intern and try to get everything going this way?
No. What do you like?
Could try it. Not with quiet. Yeah.
And don't, with that weight, if you rub off these, I think that's good too.
Right.
Okay.
You're probably good with hack. Okay. Just hack.
Tough
Same
little
spot
shot
right
is
through in the first.
being
That
called
might be
here.
a better shot.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Not a lot of that yellow exposed.
Even if you made it, Linda, I think you're going to
Which one are we
queue up
playing?
those red ones to at least get one yellow.
Top red?
Top red or the yellow?
No, yellow.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, staying with it.
Okay.
Did look like he was having a change of mind. Kevin Koe, Carter
Weight's
Rycroft.
good.
Yep. Hard. Are you heavy? Hard. Weight's real good.
Weight's good.
Whoa, whoa. Off.
Weight's good.
Off.
Simmons
Right off. Right off.
all on its own now.
Get it way
Hard,
over.
hard, Jim, hard.
Trying to change the angles, get some separation. And now the shooter will spill to the back edge of the 12.
Pretty good. That jams, I think, doesn't it?
Well, we want to hit this on the high side. Push it a bit. We don't want to drag it in. Then it hits that thinner. We might get it over the top.
Okay.
And we still might touch that one, too.
It's a hair high.
Yeah, hair high side. Just with good rag. Good rag. Try to roll the shooter to guard our one.
How much do you want to get out of this shot?
Yeah, he wants the
touch everything and roll over and guard.
double raise, triple roll over and guard.
Where do
Yeah.
you want the shooter to go to?
I thought Johnny might just hit the shot rock and do it, stop one like Alberta just did. Maybe roll over and sit second and third, and that yellow one can get it any time. He thinks the double goes. Carter thought it might jam. All depends on the angle here. This could drag a little bit. So Johnny's saying a little high side to make sure the double's made.
Whoa. Come on up. Whoa.
Needs to come up, they said. Bang. And touch and rolls over. Shot stone. For the moment, BC full in the 8-foot.
Good. It's good. Just a hair thicker. You get.
Yeah.
We're freezing it.
Little tap if you just keep the angles okay, but. Okay.
There's a chance to sit
Maybe
too.
the same weight here, or you want to see a hair more?
As what?
As
that
last
intern
end.
or that outturn last end? Yeah.
Or you could just freeze and that'll
you
be
gotta
hard
get
to
pretty
remove.
close to that, eh?
It's tough with this curl.
Should be fine. Okay.
Looks fine.
John Morris made one here in the first end. Nice freeze.
Yeah, well, that one was just top 8, right?
Yeah.
Talked at the start of the week how it would hang on the high side of center till it crossed the ribbon, but there seems to be enough curl today that just is a gradual curl everywhere.
I'm gonna set close. Harder. Where's the weight? 7. Hard line. Yeah, gotta go. It's curling. Real hard line.
Wow, that must have caught something.
And we saw that
Gotta go.
starting on Friday was the building
You're just drawing. Yeah,
got a
right
little
here.
fuller, little warmer, and
Keep going for the
more
line.
and more picks, the odd pick, and also the smudge
Just
spots.
kind of grab something. Just
Acted like it picked, Kev.
Let's nail this.
A lot of times they'll hit a footprint. The curlers are so warm out here in this building. And, you know, your shoes get a little
like
warmer. You can melt
3/4.
the ice and leave little circles. Because it kind of, whatever it did, it lost it because it ran perfectly after it over-curled.
Well, that's one of the things that Linda tried to develop a shoe that where the heat doesn't go through the shoe and into the ice, try to reflect it back. And of course, all those the kind of pressure that the brushers today.
That's it. They push and then turn the foot as they're grabbing to get some balance, and that just is so hard on the ice. Short run back.
Whoa, whoa.
No, we'll let it by.
Yikes.
Playing that straight turn too. I know it's tempting because it seems like you know what it's going to do, but sometimes it's that other way, that inside out turn that's just a little more natural.
Well, and the weight too, Linda. Like the raise was one thing, but you wanted to hang around there if you're John Morris. That was a rocket.
Yeah, yeah. Not easy to watch if you're Dad Earl, and you see Earl Morris.
Do you want a bit more still,
And
Pat?
coaching Rachel Holman. Next weekend, when we move and take the season of champions to St. John, New Brunswick, and the Ford Women's Worlds.
11.
The way that was played too, the shooter rolled out, still partially protecting the yellow weather, rolling in and maybe even getting a second shot.
One more try now for Pat Simmons.
Come on. No! Close! Whoa! Come on, guys, get on that one.
And he's just going to touch it, and he's going to roll off. All right. So they're trading errors here. One maybe. But Pat Simmons couldn't control his first, but that one is unforced.
Was it ever, and does that ever talk about a get out of jail card? Would have been sitting 3, probably no doubles. Just a pound heavy, Linda.
Such dramatic difference in the curl when you add that little bit of weight.
Just a straight freeze?
Yeah.
Cool.
T-line, boys.
Similar to what you threw here a couple ends ago, Jimmy.
Yeah, like 97 here before.
Yeah.
Real close.
So playing down to that Yellowstone at around 3 o'clock in the 8-foot.
Yeah, exactly. And just freeze right to it. Like to keep a little angle towards the center line. Can't over curl here is probably the easiest way to miss this.
Should be there.
He lives now in Vernon. He's born
Line only.
here in Kamloops, a homecoming for Jim Cotter, earlier this week announced that he has been nominated for the Kamloops Sports Hall of Fame, the induction ceremony to take place middle of April. And a little bump and roll off. And for the moment, though, it is BC sitting the 2. Alberta, though, does have last run.
Well, it wasn't a perfect freeze, but it was actually a great takeout. It just bumped it enough to sit the 2.
Soft added.
Well, he's never missing that freeze, Pat. I'd rather do something like this. And just, right? I mean, put it there.
No. That's what I was talking about.
Oh, this way.
Sorry. Yeah, I like that.
I mean, even if you nose it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Got to be shot.
He's got to be a little careful then if he knows it too. So
that didn't do a lot.
Well,
the thing is,
but I'm just thinking not real heavy in case, like, put it back there for a catcher.
Like that'll jam.
Maybe that doesn't matter.
probably doesn't.
Give me just outside the line with a 12.
Yeah.
Time that.
Yeah, I got 14-2 there. So 14. Because he was a 10.
Both teams scheming,
right
plotting their moves.
Yep. Do you like a shade less?
I like that, Kev.
Okay.
That's good.
So what are you looking for, like an 80?
75.
Kevin Koe and his first.
It's like 11. 11,
Perfect,
clean.
perfect.
Whoa. Maybe more. Clean.
Off.
Whoa.
Clean. No. No.
Whoa.
Playing down to that stone just thrown by Jim Cotter.
Okay, that's good.
And we'll tap it back. Shot stone for the moment. Alberta.
In with like good control.
Well, we just saw that. It's a pretty true spot, eh?
Yeah.
John's
With
going to
forward
be
weight.
careful where this goes. If he gets it into that type of area, there will be a double.
No,
Somebody can
I
throw it
don't
as hard
think
as
he goes
Kevin,
for
but
it.
it could jam. So if
Why?
he rolls into
That's a nut jam.
a different position, maybe into this type of area, he could be in trouble to give up as many as 3.
Could go.
Yes.
We're playing that.
Yeah, but nose. Let's see if we go there. Yeah, it's a nut jam. I don't know if he'll go for that. Okay, play that. Comes up. Just it's a nice sort of gradual spot, Jim. Just good boardish. Yeah. Board.
Linda, you always talk about and have for years, years about
have
the
I
fact
said
that
now?
well, it's just that you go down thinking about the one shot, and the hit and roll is what they would like, and also keeping in the back of their mind
Nose is the call.
the nose hit.
I agree.
It depends on the person, too. For Pat and Kevin, they might do it one way. For John and Jim, they might do it another. You're right. Sometimes if you plant the 2 options, it doesn't get the person focused. It seems to work all right to tell Jim plan A and plan B all at the same time.
Boy, did he let go of the handle before Sawatsky and Griffith were called on? Because they are going now. This is all about holding the line. They'd love to get that roll in behind their own guard if they can. Oh, and they just did well to make contact. They're going to lose the shooter. And Jim Cotter, right now, a little bit off his game.
It seems to be outturns too. He's just kind of rolling them a little bit. You know, maybe under pressure you force it towards the broom instead of just trusting it.
What was interesting about that whole conversation is the first thing Jim suggested was the other turn.
Yeah, exactly. And then got kind of overruled, didn't he?
Exact same.
That should be good then.
Got a little soft weight tap here. It's extremely difficult, but it just maybe move that out of the way for a potential 3. The other way to do it, I thought Kevin might look at it, is that.
We get 1, right?
So what's that ice compared to Pat?
That's about the exact same.
Okay, perfect.
These are so
Yeah,
tough.
Pat was just a sliver heavy.
I don't want to overthrow it. I want to have the perfect weight so if we rub ours, but Let's make her.
If you throw like a hackish and you tip your own, it's a steal.
14 here, man.
Just throw that little positive draw I've been throwing.
Positive draw, you bet.
Just almost T-line makes this when you think about it. You brush it 2 feet, you get the right line. You only have to move it, what, 3 inches? But you
11.
can't see it.
10. 11.
Roll off.
Oh, brushes are being flicked up as if this is a little hot here. Gotta wait for it to break. Great opportunity going to the break for Alberta. No, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Curl, touch it. And now where will it spin and stop?
Got it, kid.
It came late. They waited and waited. And just that little touch, and then the shooter will dig in. Alberta puts 3 more on the board to lead it. 6-3 going to the break. When we come back, the Capital One $1 million draw to the button final. Trista Ellis from Gravenhurst will have that chance.
Welcome everyone to the Capital One $1 million button final. What an exciting moment we have. Hi everybody, I'm Brian Mudrick. It's time for the 2014 Capital One $1 million button. We had a bunch of entries from across Canada, thousands. It was down to 4 at the Scotties in Montreal, and we've narrowed it down now to 1. And it's all on Trista Ellis from Gravenhurst, Ontario. A chance to win $1 million if she can cover the pin. Could she be next Canada's millionaire? Let's meet her right now.
I'm Trista Ellis from Gravenhurst, Ontario. I'm a mother of 2 and an activity director at a retirement home. When this all started, I had absolutely no experience. I've been curling here with my friends at the Gravenhurst Curling Club a couple times a week for the past 4 weeks or so. When I get to Kamloops, I'm just banking on beginner's luck. That's what's got me here so far, so I'm just going to go with that. I think on the day of the competition, I'm going to be feeling very nervous, but also very excited because it's a life-changing experience, hopefully.
All right, Trista, this is it. Your big moment. What's going through your head right now?
I'm feeling a little nervous, Brian.
Okay, I think you got this. Now, I understand you weren't a curler before, but since this came about, you're a curler now.
I feel I'm a curler now, and I plan to take it up. It's actually a pretty wonderful sport, good exercise, and it's really a sport for all ages. So.
All right, well, you've been practicing. What turn are you going with?
I'm going with the intern today.
Okay, and your kids are watching?
They're watching, so I want to say hi to everybody back home and my husband who's away at work.
All right, let's put your hands together. Let's give her a big round of applause. Trista, make your way down, and we'll explain the rules. So as Trista makes her way down for the big moment, here's the rules for you. She gets 1 shot, no sweepers allowed. Depending on where her rock stops, this is what she can win. If she gets any part of the 12-foot, that's 10 grand. The closer she gets, the more cash. A piece of the 8-foot, 25,000. 50,000 bucks for the 4-foot. If her shot gets a piece of the button, how about $100,000? If she can cover the pin, she is Canada's newest millionaire. And here's the good news for Trista as well. Regardless of what happens, she still gets $5,000, but I think she can do a lot better than that. Let's hear you, Kamloops. All right, as Trista gets settled, take a deep breath, young lady. We'll send it up to Vic Router.
So Trista Ellis from the Muskoka region of Ontario. Gravenhurst, about 2 hours north of metropolitan Toronto. Oh, she wants the help. She wants the crowd to be into it. $5,000 just for throwing. 12-foot if she gets it. 10,000 for the 12-foot. Stone is on the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, a little hot out of her hand. Trista Ellis. Here it comes, digging in now. Trista Ellis digging in now. Come on, a little more. Grab that 12. Trista Ellis puts it in the 12-foot for $10,000.
That was fantastic. Let's hear it for Trista. 10 grand. Put your hands together. How did that feel? That was an awesome throw, really close.
It was sort of terrifying, actually. But you know what? I'm proud of myself. It took a lot of guts to get out here, and I'm still a winner. So thank you, everybody, and have a great night.
Awesome. We'll bring Slider in. We want to thank Capital One. Here is the check, $10,000. And we're looking forward to the second half of the Tim Hortons Brier right after this.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Ford, proud partner of the Canadian Curling Association for over 20 years.
Alberta has had the hammer twice, and twice they've put threes on the board, taking advantage of some uncharacteristic mistakes from BC, and particularly fourth stone thrower Jim Cotter. Kevin Koe is with Brian.
Kevin, your team looking very strong through 5 ends. Let's talk about your final stone in 5. It seems that you're comfortable with your rocks and the ice. How tough was that little shot to score 3?
It was pretty hard. I couldn't see a lot of it. Helped seeing Pat throw it there. You know, I didn't think he threw it that bad, and it really ran straight there. A bit surprising because there's so much curl out there. But, you know, I think it was an advantage playing last night on this sheet. It has some extra curl, and, you know, we definitely like our rocks.
Carter's talked about taking a year off. He comes into this game fantastic. I know in the second he makes that triple to set up a 3. How key has he been so far in this game?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. That triple, we gave up a pretty weak deuce in one. Just wanted to keep it clean, so to give up 2 was frustrating. And then, you know, that shot turned the whole end around. You know, Morris missed one, and Pat made 2 great come-arounds, and it was pretty routine 3.
Kevin, thanks for your time.
Thanks.
Wow, routine 3s. They'll work for you every time.
Well, the numbers are surprising when you look at them. BC is ahead in the overall 86% to 84 for Alberta. Why is that? Well, the BC front end are both at 98%. The mistakes are happening with the experience at third. John Morris is low man at 70, and you have Jim Cotter at 80. They have to pick that up in the second half.
The numbers after 5 are brought to you by Tim Hortons, Canada's favorite coffee. Not quite as sharp as they were in that 1-2 page playoff on Friday night, British Columbia. They did practice yesterday. They did throw rocks again today prior to getting on the ice. But maybe the key was what Kevin Koe just said as he moves out. And here in 6, it will be British Columbia trailing now 6-3. That does have the last rock playing the Red Stones. The fact that they were on the ice last night.
I think he said a mouthful there. I really do. That's exactly why we always talk about, you know, all these guys are great players. They're unbelievable shooters. Everybody, if you don't curl 85%, you almost can't get into this event.
It's here to me,
but you've got to be able to, whoever picks that ice up first wins. And in this case, I thought what Kevin said is very true. He played on this last night. There was the big curl last night again. Johnny hasn't been out here for a while, and you look at the mistakes. You know, John threw one heavy, mind you, on the freeze, but the 2 from Jimmy overcurled by a mile on his outturn. 1 in the third and 1 in the fourth, or 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth.
I'll play devil's advocate because I think there's no accident in somebody not performing their best. And I attribute it to mental skills. And maybe the day off has just made it harder to wait. That could be part of it. But suddenly you don't lose the technical skill of throwing an outturn, and he's turning the outturn. And suddenly you don't lose the opportunity to make good choices about strategy. And John is picking turns. Neither of us like the turn choices last end.
Not at all. The intern hit. They're trying to hit that dead on with Jim's last one, and the intern would have run down there, not poker straight, but it would have been very readable for the Brushers. They took the swing turn, and like you say, that he doesn't seem to have that pop in that outturn. It usually pops and spins quite early, and it's kind of a dead release.
We're there.
So just have to know how to prepare yourself to be your best. And for BC now, you have to know how to recover when you're not your best. And Alberta's going to keep throwing everything they have at you, so BC has to find a way to make some great shots.
So we've seen this before.
Actually, let's go.
Now this we haven't seen, and we don't see this very often, the 2 corners played.
Have to be careful. Carter Rycroft on deck. Don't give an angle here.
Wait, skid. Halfway. Split them, boys.
What do you think of this, Linda, playing a second?
We're there.
Yeah, he's just trying to change it up. I don't think it's wrong to try a different move.
Even them. Yep. Yep, hard, Jim.
It was sort of interesting that they have had a little bit of difficulty to get around the corner that's on there right now. I actually thought they might play this side first just to change it up that way. They managed to get them even, so very nice.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Yep.
Boy. Peeled by Carter Rycroft. And out of play. And now they'll go behind.
I guess. Copy.
Well, the difficulty for either of these teams is when you let the other team get ahead, because both are great front runners. They can peel, they can make run backs. So it's tough to spot this lead, just like Alberta gave the lead to BC in the 1-2 game.
Over there.
Top house.
Got room. Top house? Got room. That'll work.
T. Close to T. T-line.
Jimmy, you're in. It's got a curl.
We're heavy.
Okay, is it still in the house?
Yeah.
It's got a curl a lot. Okay,
real
that's
back
fine. Back here's fine.
Yeah, we're all there.
Back here's better, actually. Yep. Yep. Bend it. Yep.
And back it will be. Back edge of the 8. Covered.
John knows it doesn't have to be perfect. Kevin's not going to chase it with that 3-point lead. You ever breeze by everything, there's another red one underneath cover. Play the scoreboard.
Art. Clean. Clean.
Whoa.
Clean.
Nice throw, Art.
The other thing, too, is there are a good number of Alberta fans here, but it's the majority, obviously, and playing in BC or cheering for John Morris. The crowd is being taken out of it, and we saw on Friday that the BC team is as well as playing very good.
Halfway tight.
They fed off that crowd, and that crowd right now, there's nothing.
2/3.
Line's a little tight.
That's the way it's happened, too. Like threes you don't see too often in
Line's a hair
finals.
tight. Line's
Bit of a jolt to the system here, but you can get 2 back right here in 6, 4 and 7, 2 and 8. It's a new ball game.
Good.
Okay. Good.
As it gets later in the end, if they have a chance to get this red one, they might go for it.
Like that? Yeah. Okay.
Nice simple delivery from Pat. Fairly low wrist, normal grip like you'd grip a golf club, just a neutral wrist. Just a little bit of extra action to get the spin on it.
Clean. What? Yeah, even a hair high?
A hair high, yeah. You still want to give him the... See, if we go high and we're here,
he's
got the double off. No, he's got the double all day. I think we just want to go right in the nose.
Okay. What kind of weight? What kind of weight?
Control.
Never did.
No, they're too
the
casual,
answer.
aren't they, Vic? We talked about communication and how on Alberta after the loss, we thought their communication was so much better in the semifinal, so clear.
Control, easy control.
I don't think Jim still knows.
I'll be easy control,
Oh, there we go.
That's important. Be really careful here that John doesn't jam this. Hits the yellow too thick off over to his own.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Roll big. Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Hard, roll it. Hard. Hard.
Looking to roll big.
Hard.
And they'll roll it away. Shot stone.
Good.
Alberta top 4.
Good.
That's good.
Now it's blocking it.
Yeah.
Good shot. That's that path I threw.
Okay.
Board. Board up.
John just rolled enough that the red doubles, the yellow one's in the way. It can't be made.
Control up.
Yeah, I think that's the weight, Pat.
In turn or out turn?
Out. Control up the weight. We know this spot real good.
Yeah, we've thrown this lots.
Half rock.
Weight's good.
Yep.
Easy.
Whoa. Whoa. No. Whoa. Clean.
Pat Simmons.
Whoa. No.
Again, Thies and Rycroft have been taken right out of it.
Go. Right over.
And they'll roll it over.
Pretty good.
To sit 2 down. In the 4-foot. Without last drop.
It provides an opportunity to freeze to the corner of the yellows. The only difficulty is if you're having any trouble with ice reading. These freezes are so tough. They throw so much at the end.
Jimmy Flashman completely
Freeze
here and a
about
hit in the same spot.
An inch or two on your side, Swat.
It's going to curl hard
so
here.
It's just sweep for biting the 4. Yep. Yeah.
So you think they are then, Linda, having some trouble?
Well, I think it's because the releases aren't consistent too, Vic, so you're not getting a good read on every rock coming down.
Line's good. Little tap right now.
Whoa then, whoa then.
Whoa. All there. It's got to curl. Okay, we can wait. Whoa, little tap. Line's getting good. Little tap.
Room.
Whoa, let her work.
Line's getting good. Little tap. Right there.
Just another inch and a half. Over would have been perfect.
82, John.
Okay. Maybe. No.
We'll make them do something.
Absolutely.
Here.
Yeah, I think that's right, Kevin.
Nose, I don't think it makes any kind of catcher for him.
Nope.
Normal?
Normal. I like that. We'll try and roll into the 4-foot, eh?
Yeah, or not quite, so that...
Yes. Gotcha.
Looking for a little angle on the yellows once this roll is made, knowing that that center area has to be moved around by BC.
Kind of weight.
Normal.
We mentioned that Pat Simmons used to skip 4 times Saskatchewan champion. That ability of him to play off of
Clean it. Easy, easy. Whoa, clean.
Kevin Koe has really been a key this week.
His line calling too, Vic, it's been incredible.
No, roll it.
And there's that little bit of a roll, not quite, he said, and they grabbed the edge of the 4. That may have been a little more than they had hoped for.
Sam's got to hit that pretty quick.
Nice throw. It's a nice spot. It just kind of gradual, took its time.
Pretty thin, so hopefully this is. Okay, I like it.
Like regular?
Yeah.
Regular.
No choice now, just to come down here and hit it in that area. That way you're going to roll your shooter here. There will be a double. It'll be pretty flat double, and that's where Alberta's got to be careful. If he hits it too thick, he'll jam, but he's going to have to get it in here to make that double. Just off center.
Playing the in turn on this one. It's the out turn that seems to be the struggle right now.
This crowd wants to get into the game again. BC is down by 3. Jim Cotter is first. Called off now. And they'll hold it. Will it stick around? Yes, it will.
It's a good thing that Jim called them off, though. Wow, that almost rolled out.
You can see when Kevin Koe was brushing that one. You can watch at the end here when Kevin just hits it perfect, but watch when he starts brushing. You see that it turns the blue to white. That's all the frost he's churning up there, which might have saved it.
Yeah. One up with us.
Hitting the open one.
What are we doing?
What we got to worry about is over curling too much there.
What are we doing?
I just give him 2. What do
Okay.
you guys think?
Okay. Oh, you're hitting that one. I see.
The draw is not. I can put it right shouldish.
Oh, I'd say easy control.
Can't roll in there anywhere.
And
I have to get in the
I can't roll in anywhere good, eh?
No.
You asked, there's the answer.
Real hard.
Well, you can try that.
Well, might as well.
Okay.
You could go try to go back 4 wide open, but it's your 3-point lead. This makes some sense.
Well, you heard him say,
Whoa! Whoa!
give them the deuce. We're 1 up with last rock
Roll it,
in
Pat.
7.
Go.
If it works out
Come
that
on,
way,
go.
now they're trying to grab it. Roll it. Look at Simmons. And pretty good.
What a great roll.
Boy, they hammered it, and it just rolls over to almost
Pretty good,
catch
Kev.
the back of the board.
Oh, my goodness.
He threw it so hard to try and get that bounce because it was a flat roll he was looking for. Look at this thing bounce sideways.
Make him earn it, eh?
Wow.
Take him earn it. Exactly. Don't give an inch.
It's a nice spot here, Jimmy. Easy board.
Boy, you got that coming off flat.
That was a bullet. You worry here now because Jimmy's a 2-over curl on him on the outturn side. You have to get to the inside here. You could go right by everything.
And his roll off his own red can't be that far. He has to hold on to that 4-foot for the deuce.
Exactly. Dead on doesn't do him any good either.
Probably get this.
Good boy.
So there's a chance here for BC to get themselves into it. Sawatsky, Griffith, this is a big crush for them, trying to hold the line. Trying to hold the line for them. And then it will roll too far. BC will get just the single. But it was that last rock by Kevin Koe, that smash and roll that put the pressure on.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today. WFG. By Capital One, what's in your wallet? And by M&M Meat Shops, frozen food at its best.
The wait is over. The new season of Game of Thrones premieres Sunday, April 6th, only on HBO Canada. Contact your TV provider to subscribe.
I did not think
It's a 6-4 Alberta lead. Missed opportunity. For BC had a chance, difficult as it might, to get their deuce. But it really was that last rock. Hammering that stone. Kevin Koe rolling over to almost bite the 4 to cut down the scoring area. So BC gets the single. Alberta leads by 2.
A little tight.
And Kevin Koe and the Alberta champions out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary will once again have the last rock here in 7. Remembering each of the previous times they had the hammer, they scored 3.
You're right, Vic. The hit and roll was brilliant, and they weren't going to try it at first because it was so difficult for Alberta to jump it over. But the accuracy with that huge weight, then Kevin could try it with no risk. But the other part is Jim Cotter is not the Jim Cotter we saw Friday night. And I think if I was John Morris, I'd stay away from that outturn.
Yeah, that's for sure. And it's too bad because Jim's been unbelievable all week, all year.
We were talking during the break, and Russ, you think that Kevin Koe may be the most accurate up-weight thrower in the game today?
Yeah, I think so. I really do. You know, Mr. Jacobs can make them too, but I think Kevin might even be able to throw it a hair harder. But yeah, he seems to be more accurate the harder he throws it. It's incredible. That thing was flying.
Back 4.
Whereas we see Linda many times somebody trying to throw the up weight and then their mechanics break down.
And they don't have that opportunity to stay on line with it, so there's no use playing it if you can't throw it on the right line either.
3/4.
Nice angle here for Carter, and could get them both here.
Oh. Whoa.
Carter Rycroft.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa.
Angle it back. One, and he'll clean it right up. You don't want to ever overstate it, but that first game, he was a mess. He really was. He didn't have his game, but boy, has it come in and rounded into form since that first couple of draws back last Saturday.
You give him credit because it was a wobbly slide.
Yeah,
you don't
really.
often come to a Brier with a wobbly slide and then make it better 2 games later. And Carter has done just that. The 2 front ends in this game have been brilliant.
Got a curl.
Has been those big mistakes by BC in the back half of the lineup.
Coming down.
Well, line's good. Line's good.
Clean.
Line's good.
They're coming down. So turn here.
Interested to see how this unfolds this end, because BC has to calculate how much risk they want to take here. See that yellow is difficult to get the red one, and you run the top yellow onto the red's difficult also. So the red one's in a pretty good spot at this point.
So what could you do? How much risk is there? What would be risk for BC?
Well, you keep guarding it for a while, but then at some point in time, I think you're going to see Kevin Koe play that double raise or do something to come around and tap it or do something. So John's got to make that move first. Do you freeze? Do you just keep guarding? It all depends on if he thinks that yellow raise can be made.
Room. Let it work.
Clean. 2/3.
Needs to finish. Need to finish it. Hard tie, hard.
Good.
Shot.
There's no way Kevin Koe at the moment's going to go into the rings. Doesn't want to leave any kind of wall or backing for John Morris. Just peeling it off.
Yep.
For Pat Simmons.
Clean's good.
Clean.
And away it goes.
Where's shot?
Hey.
Kevin.
Shot rock's pretty crucial here too. Obviously BC has to come in and move it if they're not.
Clean it.
Halfway. It's a hair less.
Foot or 2 less, Jimmy.
You want to go hair tighter, boys.
Line's tighter.
Hair tighter, yep. Line's good.
Yep, little bit. Yep. Good.
Shot.
Yep. Clean. Oh, losing my footy.
It's interesting. Getting a little greasy. Frost coming up.
Yeah, you get a bit of that snow on your shoe, on the crepe soles.
Right here, and then he's going to have to blast.
So in we go as we take a look and
just go top
see who the shot stone is.
It's
and
yellow.
it appears it is yellow.
So that's why you're seeing the call. I guess we could have figured it out from the call if we hadn't had that great zoom in, because they're going to angle the yellow one that is shot rock.
It's a massive shot for Jimmy here.
Mistake 3.
Yep.
Cues this
Slide
up
nice
on the
here,
wrong angle.
3 seconds.
Hard to bail out. A little tighter than they normally do.
through, and it kind of just was a little straighter, didn't go crazy.
Fourth stones. Here in a seventh.
T-line.
6-4 Alberta. They also have last rock. They're sitting
Line's
shot
good.
stone for the moment.
Line's good. Line's good. Line's good. Yep. Wait on, Lee. Wait on,
Griffith
Lee.
and Sawatsky. Called off now by Morris.
Can't bounce.
It's good.
Swat, yep. Yep.
Can't bounce. And they won't bounce. Just coming up a little shy.
Beautiful shot, though.
Just missed.
It's too bad because the rushers are so good, and John does call them off here. They don't stick to their conviction, and they do stop for a moment, so they don't get the freeze. Beautiful weight that was thrown.
You got to nut it to kill this.
That's like an inch? Oh, that's thinner than that, I think, Pat. I'm just wondering if you don't play like control and...
Yeah, just save the shooter?
Yeah.
Save them both.
Yeah, I kind of like that.
Where do you want
it
to
is
save
thin,
it?
it's pretty tough.
He's going to go here again.
Wow, this one's going to be in the neighborhood though, right?
Well, this one with that might spin to there. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Like,
well, it's not good.
I don't think you
Not
want
good?
anything else in here. Yeah, that is real thin. Eh?
It is. Yeah, it's
Probably
not
misses.
I think it gets it for sure.
But if
don't
it
you,
kicks
Carter?
out just to there, that's not bad.
Right.
are you okay with that, Pat?
Yeah.
I think it gets it for sure, doesn't it, Carter?
It's got to stick one of them, eh?
Right.
No, not unless you hit like a...
I mean, it's one of those, if you're thin on this one, you're making this good anyways,
Yeah,
right?
so make the call. I think the worst is just to...
Yes.
I'm not totally sure what he can do, but he probably tries to...
No,
if he gets one in here...
He probably just taps to a pocket.
I don't
right?
think
If he gets one in here, that's no good.
Not unless you
you're
hit
right.
an inch.
What weight do you like?
Control.
I'd love
You
to
like
see them
that?
hit it as
Okay.
thin as they possibly can. If they could somehow save this
Thinking
yellow
there,
rock, hit it really thin, stay there, they might not make the double. Looks
What
like
kind of
it's
weight is
queued
that?
up to go this way. It might miss. But that yellow would be in a really dangerous spot for British Columbia. They'd almost have to play the double, and it'd be a pretty easy shot for Kevin to get out of the end. It's all about scoring a single here for Kevin. I don't think he's going to grab that back red one on the way by.
Yeah. Real hard.
Ah! Whoa! Ah! Whoa!
Play it thin. Yes, yes.
Now some late licks.
Shot. Okay.
Wow. That's a real good shot because keep in mind BC isn't shot.
Could have spun actually a hair more, eh?
I think he pretty much has to double, I think.
That's the best shot if we can make it.
Good way to... If you caught it thick, it like peel, but then we got to sit right there. A hair high, it might miss it. Or we draw there, yeah.
We either go right here, or we play this double.
What do you like?
And it's...
I don't mind.
I kind of like the draw. The double, you might not keep. Tough to keep it.
Like worst case, you're here. You probably have that same shot. But we got
Draw's kind of an all or nothing shot, right? Like, draw's kind of an all or nothing shot. Like we don't make it.
Well, so is this. If this isn't, if he
That's no
knows
gimme.
it, it's a deuce, right? And if you roll out, I guess it's a blank.
Well, with this one, even if you tap it an inch, you're okay. Obviously not any more than that, but...
Like chances are, you're probably sticking this one here. I think we got to throw the draw.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just threw it, so...
Yep.
Whatever
so
they
boys,
decide
you
is
wanna
all or
freeze it?
nothing at the moment.
Yeah, it really is, Vic.
Real
You
positive.
can move it an inch, but we want to be right nestled right here.
Okay.
I mean, it's similar to what he just threw, no?
Yeah, it is, but you know, it's 146 feet. You tick one of these, you roll open. You tick this one, you roll open. You can see what can happen. And what they're concerned about is tapping it, is if they tap this red back a little bit, the shot rock will be dislodged easily in a potential 3. The other problem is becoming shot rock with this one. You could kind of freeze to your own on the high side of your own, and you're not even going to be shot rocked.
Probably not much chance of even getting wide
I don't
here,
even
right?
think I can afford to play anything.
So you heard Kevin Koe and Pat Simmons already talking about if this is made, maybe there's nothing for them to play, but Cotter and company have to first get it to the pin. So Griffith, Sawatsky now have backed off, saying they're going to tap it. Back 4, a little heavier than they may have wanted. Curl up, curl up, curl up. Uh-oh.
That's trouble.
Such a frustrating game for Jim. And you throw that, and it wasn't that far off, except now factor in the fact you didn't put your brushers into the equation.
But you know, in fairness, you drew the button twice. It's just
so much out here. We haven't seen this all week. All right, bud.
Gotta wait.
Heel.
nose hit. Keep it firm. Guaranteed 2. If you get it even on a little on the inside, you're fine.
3 with last rock in the second. 3 with last rock in 5. And here in 7. Bang! 3 more. Brother Jamie, Northwest Territories, Yukon, loving it. They're each other's biggest fan. What do you think? Way to go, bro. Frustration. Jim Cotter, Tyrell Griffith off their game here in the biggest game of the week, the gold medal final, and very sharp. Alberta's whole team, but Kevin Koe in particular. Interesting to note, in 2010, he came out of the 3-4 page playoff to win, and then out of the 3-4 page playoff in 12 and losing in the final. This year, he was in the 1-2 game on Friday night. So coming out of a different, the number 2 hole, as it were, in the seedings, and rolling right along. But has turned that game around. Kevin Koe, Pat Simmons, Carter Rycroft, Nolan Thiessen, up now 9-4 and making the most of their last rock, scoring 3 every time they had the hammer. So here in 8, British Columbia. Out of the Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs will have the last rock. They have the hammer, trying to claw their way back if they can, playing the Red Stones, and that's going to be difficult.
Well, this is one of those cases when you're up this much, you actually don't need any rocks in play if you're Alberta. They did put the first one into the top 4 in a beautiful spot. But now it's just throw it through and peel, and John's got to figure out a way to keep rocks in play.
If that first one wasn't in a perfect spot, assuming it wasn't in the free guard zone, they could have hit their own and got it out of there also, but it's in a great spot.
Yeah, no double, boys, no double.
Kevin said it best in the 5th end break. We at the Bend, you're playing a semifinal, and seemed to be a bit more curl this weekend, and it's made it a little easier for them to make that, put that broom in the right spot at the start of the game.
Fair, buddy.
Now again, they did practice. BC practiced yesterday, threw rocks today. But I take it you won't learn everything you need to learn just in a practice session.
Sorry. He switched it up on us.
And I think what you said too, Vic, comes into play in this situation too. When Alberta made BC change color, they'd spend most of their practice time matching stones and not looking at the curl as much as the speed and the line of the rocks.
British Columbia trying to win a 5th Canadian Men's Curling
Heavy.
Championship,
Real tight.
their last, Greg McCauley.
It's heavy.
Back in 2000, and for Alberta, who have won
Real tight, John.
25
It's real tight.
national titles since 1927, trying to win a first since Kevin Koe and his first championship in 2010. But the air has gone out of this team and out of this crowd and out of this arena. 9-4 Alberta.
Yep. Clean. Yep. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Good boy.
Carter's a real veteran, really, when you think of it at such a young age. He's not overthrowing those. He's just keeping that same pace.
I think he makes us peel the guard, but what do you think?
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I think the Alberta team's been good about how they've talked. Now it's a little bit easier with the score the way it's been almost the whole game. After giving up the deuce in the first end, things have rolled their way, but I've liked the conversations about strategy. I thought that's always a key with this Alberta team, that Kevin's the boss, but he likes a little bit of input, and they've given the right amount today.
Yeah, you got to go right back here to get
back there, boys, right back.
Yep, you're good. You're good. I got you. Go, go, go.
Hard.
Go.
And all the way back they go.
Nice game from Ty. He's made a lot of shots.
Hard. Whoa. Clean. Hard. Whoa. Whoa. Hard. Clean. Hard. Go, 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 go.
That time he was trying to get his own. Because the things have changed. It's now a guard, that rock.
Trying to make the double there, or what?
Just wanted that a little thinner and manages to get the peel.
Once you know you've got the peel, why not?
Right on top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Speed's the same, John. Full up.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Jackie.
Oh, that's good.
Right, lots of room.
We can wait.
Yeah, we can wait, definitely, yeah. Whoa.
Let it work.
Tons of room, guys. Okay.
It's back 12.
On its own.
Curl.
Ty, you're in.
I got it.
Yep, go now.
Go, go, go. Hit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. Shot.
Hit.
Just enough showing her. I think Pat can throw it hard enough to make the double.
3/4.
Shot, John.
A little more even. 3/4.
Should at least spin out to here.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
It jams, but it'll be spinning, so it should be able to get it out of the rings if he can hit about half of this.
Whoa.
Pat Simmons.
Wait, whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa.
Nothing
Whoa.
yet. Decent. Rycroft. Nothing yet. Going to catch a corner, and they'll spring for him.
Come on, Pat.
And he's had a wonderful week. Pat Simmons.
Every aspect of the game, his shot making superb. He's like a little arrow coming out of that hack. Great line on those hits. When you play the upweight, you have to. And I've liked all aspects of the game. Such a positive guy. Great input with Kevin. Great with the front end as well.
Nice to see. Remember when he was sick in the final a couple years ago, he could barely walk, let alone make good shots.
Jackie.
Hairless.
Line's good.
Hard line. Line's good. Line's good.
It's good. Back 12.
Yep.
We're by. Okay. We can wait. Back 12.
Bite it. Just bite it at the end.
Take it.
Go, Kevin. Go, Kevin.
Whoa.
Go, Kevin. Go.
It's that kind of day.
Yeah, think about it. It's so true. Like Jimmy Cotter throws 2 in the button last end, and all he does is set up a double for 3. John throws a nice come around there, cues up a double, and then they overswept that by a fraction of an inch. It's just not their day.
Pat's wife, Cindy. Carter Rycroft's wife, Sheila.
Clean. Clean. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Hey, you're good.
Nolan Thiesen's wife, Christine.
Shoe catching.
And she's bitten their nails off this week.
Fortunately, this one's not quite so tough.
No, not so bad. Watching Kevin.
Good, guys. That's good. That's fine.
Gotta love that front end. You know, Jim's discouraged and saying it's fine. They're taking that thing to the forefoot.
Fantastic. Could throw hack weight, board weight, normal weight, or what Kevin's going to do in this situation. Take the curl out of play.
Clean it. Clean. Yep.
I got it.
Would you take one here? I know it's a long way back, but it's the 8th. Would you take one, change it up, or do you want the brick? You want the last rock?
Yeah, I think in this case you certainly could, because you get to throw the 2 guards, and usually when you throw 2 guards, if you play a nice end, Kevin Koe would be looking at 3 open rocks, and
control.
We saw a steal out of them the other night for 2.
We haven't seen that look very often this week from John Morris.
Control. Clean. Yep. Hard. Hard.
A little bewildered, I think, by what's
hard.
Hit him here
Really
by
hard, Swat. Gotta go
thrown
really
at
hard.
him by Alberta, and also the way that the team has responded. Yeah, they'll take their single. Alberta, though, in control through 8.
This could possibly be the last one that I get to.
He's taken some time off after that, so what better send-off than to win another Brier?
If I could go out with that, putting that on there, that would be just seal the deal for me.
Pat Simmons, he's played with us 3 years. He doesn't have his name on it, so we want to win it for him.
It'd be nice to get this win and get Pat's name on the tankard.
We've had a great 3 years here, and you know, to culminate in a win here would be great.
And there are the names that are already on the Brier tankard. On the right is Corporal Cheryl Bush. On the left, Constable Jason F. Both of the Kamloops RCMP detachment as they bring in the championship trophy. Of course, Kevin Koe and Nolan Thiessen already have their names on as 2010 Canadian champions, and then going on to Cortina d'Ampezzo to win the World Championship that year too. BC takes their single in 8. And now in 9, once again, Alberta with last rock.
It's good.
Playing
Same
the
way.
Yellowstones. And up by 4.
Gotta split him, boys.
A lot of work if you can.
Gotta split him.
We can
Wait's
wait.
good. We can wait. And a curl. Ty, you're in. Line's not bad if the weight's good, boys.
John, trying something different. I don't think it's wrong to try something different. You're playing such a good team with the peel game. The tick was missed on the first one. I think because there's an angle on those, this will just go through.
There's a double there now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Whatever you like,
It's
man.
double.
Well, yeah,
but like you can make this. No point leaving a.
Okay. I got a cart.
I'd rather throw a single peel than a double peel. Right? And then I know.
He's just meaning it's teed up right now.
To be able to wear the maple leaf to win this Tim Hortons Brier, the $40,000 that goes along with it, that's the money in lieu of their own sponsorships. And then, of course, they'll be in Beijing. They'll go to the Canada Cup. They'll play in the Continental Cup. And then next year, to become the first Team Canada at the Tim Hortons Brier in Calgary.
Back tee.
Yep.
Line's good.
Whoa.
Line's good. Get room. Lots of room.
Please tee line.
It's got a curl. Get by.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Oh, just. Oh, it's good. Whoa, Jim.
This one.
I like this one. No, either one, though, right?
I don't mind this.
Whatever you like, Kev.
You make it. It's real good.
Whatever you like.
I don't think that makes sense. If you ever make that double and stay there, you're getting another one around. Like, why would we do that? This is the turn we want to open for the draw, right? Yep.
Well said from the skipper, the old skipper.
And you do get to this stage of the game and you kind of feel that it's close. The win is close and you start to think about how do I make that happen? Well, the best way to make it happen is just to make some good choices and make single rocks go away. You've got a big lead in this game. You don't have to worry about big shots.
Yeah. Good throw.
West.
Top four.
Okay, 4.
Line
Line's
only.
good.
Tee line. Tee, John.
Line's perfect.
Getting better.
Just want to be right here.
We know the success
We're
that
there.
you both have
Halfway in
had.
the 4. Whoa.
We're there.
Whoa. No double,
But
no double.
in this situation, how difficult is it? You're grasping. You're trying. You're trying to keep people positive. I'm assuming. Linda, what are you trying to do here? Because we've said that what John Morris has been this week is as much a coach, inspirational to the team. So what does he have to provide them?
Well, first of all, you have to say it's extremely difficult. All you can do is not look at the scoreboard, just set a goal for each end and see if you can accomplish that and heck away at the lead the other team has.
Whoa. Yeah.
Oh goodness, that doesn't help. He's just been wonderful.
He really has.
Rycroft. I mean, that's just sticking the knife in.
You know, for some people, thinking about trying to win actually makes them nervous. I think in this case, Carter is inspired. He is motivated by that desire to win. Potentially won't come back for a while because he's going to take some time off. So in his case, it's really working for him, thinking about the win.
Just half.
Clean, just clean. I think it's 2/3. Just clean it, boys. Just clean.
Nice, 2/3. It's got to curl a bit. Finish it.
Carter doesn't make that shot. There's a chance to sit 3 in an end like this, and it always forces the skipper to make a good one, but that was a great double.
Wow.
Take a look at the numbers for John Morris and Pat Simmons.
I think the biggest surprise in the numbers is the fact that John has missed some easier shots at open draw, rolled out on hits, and Pat Simmons has been so solid for Team Alberta.
Player numbers brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Whoa. Wait, clean. Yeah, make it clear.
Unless something dramatic happens, what's on the resume for Pat Simmons? A Canadian championship.
Give you hair less, boys.
Yeah.
No choice but to guard it again.
It's a hair less.
Yeah. Halfway. Line's good.
Line's better.
2/3. We have to finish it.
Let it work. Let it work. Line's good.
A little bit. A little bit. Good.
Pat Simmons has worked hard at the game.
Shot.
He's one of those real nice guys. It's,
Good wait.
he came out of Saskatchewan 4 times, but never, in my opinion, really had that elite team to be at the top level with these type of teams that are out here now in the playoffs.
And then if I remember correctly, in 12, when they got to the final, he wasn't feeling very well. I
That's
remember that.
exactly right, yeah.
But I think
Hard. Right off.
we've been able to see him a number of times at different competitions. I don't think, Linda, or Russ, I don't think I've ever seen him as comfortable as he is right now, working with Kevin Koe.
Pat's always been a legendary hitter, but look at his stats for the draw weight. Like this for the whole week, he's at 86%. And when Pat's drawing well, he always hits well, and that's a lethal combination.
Heal it, and you think he's guarding the game, or do you think he's going to go? He's probably going to look at like a top 4. Right?
Yeah, and then we slash it.
Yeah.
Steal one and slash.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never drawing.
No, I don't think draw is in the anywhere on the plan for the next little while.
Halfway tight.
Won't be a hack waiter that comes out of him either.
Make it go away.
Tight. Same as yours, Johnny. Real tight, John.
It's nice, though, when you think about it, that quite often we say don't throw too much weight, don't get too excited, don't, at this stage of the game, think too much about making rocks. So many rocks go away, but you don't have to worry about it with Kevin Koe because of his accuracy.
Look at that roll he made at the end that he forced. Just a missile down there and rolled it right to the X.
And a shot, as you say, Linda, they were going to stay away from because they didn't think it was possible to really smash it and roll over.
Intern? Throwing the in? We could try and run it, I guess, Pat.
Oh, just peel it off, Kevin. Which turn are you throwing in?
Manitoba with the most Canadian men's curling championships, and Alberta trying to win a 26th.
Yep. Clean. Nice throw. Attaboy.
Kevin's got that backswing on the high hard ones, generates that extra little bit of speed.
Right here, SWAT.
Is he trying to even them up so they can get a mistake?
Great year for this team when you look at it, to get to the trials final.
As fast here, do you think?
Two biggest events in our country. Looks like they're going to be second in both, which is not going to feel good tonight, but it's an incredible accomplishment.
It doesn't feel good right now.
No.
Not even tonight. When you look at John Morris.
Line's good, guys. Room.
But the crowd here at the Interior Savings Center still into it.
Room. SWAT, you're in. Back T-line, back T-line.
Trying to even it up.
Yep,
and he will.
Perfect shot.
There you go.
Yep. Is that normal?
Yeah, I think it's going fairly straight in
That
here now.
seems to be really straight.
Firms down.
Find a weight, Carter?
Normal.
Yeah, a pick would be disastrous.
It's good.
Easy
Clean.
hole.
Yep. Yep. Hard. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Thiessen, Rycroft,
Whoa.
Simmons calling
Whoa.
line. And right on the nose. And the handshakes. And Alberta, Kevin Koe, Pat Simmons, Carter Rycroft, Nolan Thiessen are your Canadian men's curling champions, Alberta.
Not for you, boy. Not for you. Yeah. Yeah. Woo. Yeah.
On this day, Alberta was the better team. And look at Pat Simmons. To play, to win that Purple Heart. That Purple Heart that used to be on the cans of the McDonald tobacco, and that's where the Purple Heart came from. And to be able to win it, first of all, play for your province, and then now Pat Simmons in a 7th Brier finally has his Canadian Men's Curling Championship.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by Tim Hortons Premium Blend Coffee, a true Canadian tradition.
Nolan Thiessen lifts Pat Simmons to celebrate a first Canadian Men's Curling Championship for the Moose Jaw native, Pat Simmons. And John Morris, nothing like the comfort of your dad. He's been with you all the way. Kevin Koe is your Canadian champion. He's with Brian.
Kevin, congratulations, your 2nd Brier title. How special is it to put Pat's name now on that tankard?
Oh, it's awesome. No one deserves it more. He's been a great curler around the Brier all the time, and awesome teammate. I'm really happy for him.
If this is Carter's final Brier, how good was he in this game?
He was outstanding. I mean, he's a great teammate, and it'll be sad to see him go, but, you know, maybe even happier for him to send him out like this. It's just, so, you know, so proud of the guys. It was just a battle right from provincials through this week.
And finally, the first team now to be Team Canada in Calgary, in your hometown.
Yeah, that's a little neat. So, I mean, we'll worry about that when the time comes. We'll celebrate this, and we'll be looking forward to being Team Canada in China.
Congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thanks a lot.
Carla Koe with a big kiss for husband Kevin. 2010, they did it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome
winning the Canadian Championship.
Champions,
and the
Team
trophy
Alberta.
will be presented to them again. To Team Alberta. Time to get those pictures. Congratulations to the team from the Glencoe Club, that's their coach, John Dunn, Jamie King, their 5th, Nolan Thiessen, Carter Rycroft, Pat Simmons, and skip Kevin Koe. It was a battle for them. On that triple knockout Alberta championship, they lost their first 2, and then they were into that final against Kevin Martin. And they won that 7-5 after trailing early. It's only been a Martin Koe out of Alberta since 2006. And here again, Alberta wins a 26th Canadian Men's Curling Championship. Kevin Koe.
Mr. Doug Anthony, Vice President of Operations of Western Canada for Tim Hortons, will present Keeper trophies, while Marilyn Neely, the CCA Board Liaison, presents bronze medals to our bronze medal team, Team Manitoba.
The Manitoba champions out of the Charleswood Curling Club. Rob Meekin is their coach. And Garth Smith is their 5th player.
Ladies and gentlemen, to their coach.
It's been a difficult Brier for them. They won their first 4, really their experience helping them win it, because it wasn't a very comfortable Jeff Stoughton.
No, they weren't very good at the beginning of the week, and then once they got it going, you really thought that they had that momentum going and they would be so good. But in the 3-4 page playoff game, Quebec outcurled them by a lot.
2 shots that Jeff would like back. One he just gets wrong on the line, one he gets wrong on the speed.
There's going to be questions, of course, now and throughout curling after the tour finishes, whether in fact teams will stay together. John Meade quoted in a article that he thinks that the team will stay together. It has the possibility of staying together for another year. Jeff Stoughton, if it all plays out, and especially this switch here, Reed Carruthers at the lead and Mark Nichols going to 2nd. That was very good for them.
I think that was a brilliant move. I really do. Reedy can make all the draws, always has been able to, and Mark's a legendary hitter. I thought it worked out really well this week.
And as they receive their medals, just a little too late for Jeff Stoughton to become a NASCAR driver. That's what he, I think, would really like to be. He'd like to be on the NASCAR circuit rivaling Jeff Gordon, but it's a little too late for him. And what can you say about this BC team from the Vernon and Kelowna curling clubs, as we say, coming together so quickly, with John Morris joining them just last spring. Pat Ryan knows what it's like to be on the podium. 3-time Canadian champion, 2-time world champion. This front end, boy, if they can keep them together. Rick Sawatsky, Tyrell Griffith, so good. And it's just unfortunate because they worked so well, Linda. Tim Carter and then John Morris. What a run they've had. Just another bitter finish for him at the curling trials to go to Sochi, the runner-up there, and now 2nd place, the runner-up here at the Tim Hortons Brier.
Mr. Doug Anthony of Tim Hortons will present the keeper tankards, chevrons, and rings, while Marilyn Neely, CCA Board Liaison, presents gold medals to the Tim Hortons Brier champions, Team Alberta.
What I found very impressive is the way that they regrouped after losing that final round-robin game on Friday morning, then looking very ordinary in the 1-2 page playoff, how they gathered themselves up.
Yeah, I think, and I really do believe when they changed colors, that helped Kevin out. He had a couple rocks, he just were misbehaving for him in the 1-2 game, and they were on fire today.
And how do you feel for Pat Simmons? Wife Cindy loves it. And for a 2nd time, Kevin Koe is Canadian men's champion. And on this day, they just simply were better.
They were superb. Even when they made a few little mistakes, they made up for it so quickly, turned things around, and stayed positive throughout. And those 3 enders brilliantly put together.
Okay, boys.
Okay, boys.
Here it comes, boys. With Corporal Cheryl Bush, Constable Jason Ep of the Kamloops RCMP.
Get in there, buddy. Get in there, buddy.
Congratulations, Alberta. They are the Canadian men's curling champions.
All right.
This year, the Brier returned to Kamloops as beautiful British Columbia played host to our country's best curlers. Every year, our national championship features 12 teams from all across Canada, all wanting to finish on that top step of the podium. It's an event where every shot is crucial, every end is different, and every game is a chess match. It's 9 days that at times can leave you scratching your head, make you think about what could have been, and at times leave you wondering where it all went wrong. You try to figure out what your opponent is up to, question every decision, then weigh all your options, deciding what's best. And when it's your turn to throw, you give it your all. But still, there are times that make you say to yourself, how did that just happen? There are moments when you scream at the top of your lungs, and others that leave you speechless. Yes, sometimes at the Brier, just when you think you have everything all figured out, you don't. But the Brier is a lot of fun too. You get to play on the biggest curling stage in Canada, with the top teams in our country, and you get to do it with your best friends. It's a lot of work. You bet it's a lot of work. You push for every inch, you fight for every point, you battle for every win. But you get to feel like a rock star, playing the game that you love and representing the place that you call home. And sometimes everything works out just perfectly. And when it does, it feels so good. The Brier is a celebration of our country, an event that brings our nation together. 9 days that are uniquely Canadian. For 87 years, men from across Canada have battled to see just who is the best curling team in our country. Win or lose, just getting to say that you played a part in it is a dream come true.
The 2014 Tim Hortons Brier is brought to you by World Financial Group, creating a better tomorrow for families today. WFG. By Scotty's Facial Tissue, Scotty's the perfect touch. And by Capital One, what's in your wallet? It's now time for today's secret word. The secret word is line. Go to finaln.ca and enter this word for your chance to win.
Team Alberta, Kevin Koe out of the Glencoe Club in Calgary celebrate a win in the Tim Hortons Brier, the Canadian Men's Curling Championship. They'll now wear the maple leaf at the Men's Worlds in Beijing, China. The game story, really dominance.
And it was that great use of the hammer early on for Alberta. In the second end, a triple by Carter Rycroft set up the three. And then in the fifth, there was the mistakes by BC. Kevin Koe at 92%. An all-round great performance by Alberta.
The game story is brought to you by Travelers. It's better under the umbrella. Congratulations to Kevin Koe, Pat Simmons, Carter Rycroft, Golden Thiessen, Jamie King, Dr. John Dunn. We'll look forward to seeing them in Beijing. But next, our season of champions rolls on, and we will be in St. John, New Brunswick. It opens next Saturday. And game one for Rachel Homan will be against Anna Sidorova, 1:30 Eastern Time. Homan against Russia as our coverage of the Ford Women's Worlds continues. Our thanks to Norm Daly, the host of the chair committee, and all his 500 volunteers. Thank you, Kamloops. And thanks to our wonderful crew as always. The Tim Hortons Brier is here on Canada's sports leader, TSN.